What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, it's going to be my artist and we're going to be ranking every song by the Maine. This is one of my favorite bands, so I'm really excited for this video, but I do have a little note for you guys. This will be including studio albums only, so there's no EPs. I'm not sure if there are any, but they're not included. This is also not including any acoustic albums. And this is not including, so Lovely Little Lonely has 3 interludes on it. Lovely Little Lonely. Lovely is just instrumental and will not be included. Little is just spoken words, so that will also not be included. However, Lonely is close enough to an actual song, and I do have it saved, so I decided to include it. So with that being said, these are my rankings. Sean's going to provide his comments, and let's get it on. Coming in last place, kicking off the bottom tier. With this tier is all the songs that I do not have saved. We've got these 4 words. Lyrically, this song is a heartbreaking piano ballad. I mean, these 4 words don't come easy. I Don't Love You is a massive fucking oof. But on the other end of that coin, this is an incredibly slow and boring piano ballad. There's no change at all at any point in the song. There's no speed up or anything. It is just constant, slow piano. And I am very bored. I don't have this song saved like I mentioned. I regret nothing. I will leave the final decision up to Sean, but I definitely think this song has Nat playlist potential written all over it.
Oh, sorry. I had to make comments for this. I'm sorry. The bottom song has to be a snoozer if it's down here for Brett. I agree. There is no speed here at all. The ballad has to hit to work, and the song does not click at all. The lyrics, like Brett was saying, are brutal, but honestly, it's really hard to hear the singer sometimes because the piano is way too damn loud. The piano itself is beautiful, and I appreciate what they are going for, but the lack of change in it has nothing going for it to listen to it more than one time. Plus, only being 3 minutes long, you can feel every second of that runtime, and it honestly feels like a 5-minute song.
Yeah, I completely agree. Final verdict: Nat playlist or no?
Oh yeah.
Rev up those fryers.
Rev those fryers.
Overall, the song came in bottom of the list, 104. Number 103, we've got Will All Be. This is another one of the very few songs in the discography that I don't have saved. It's 5.5 minutes long. It does not need to be that long. It can't keep my attention for that entire time. It definitely fits in as the album closer. It is the final song off of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, but that's about all I got. It's just an all-around incredibly okay song that just goes on for way too long, and that is why it's down here. I originally did have this in last place instead, but holy fuck, these 4 words bored me to tears, so this got bumped up a spot.
The intro guitar almost has a country-esque with some pacing in terms of style-wise. I do like the drums. They keep the pacing up when the vocals come in. This also has the same problem that the last song had. The instruments are just way too long, and it's just a theme that I'm going to touch on for most of this video with the earlier stuff. Listening to this song with headphones is pretty hard to hear the vocals. But looking at it musically outside of the sound issue, there's just no flow here. The same pace that I got in the beginning was throughout the entire song. You actually can't tell when anything is happening. This build is legitimately to nothing. It slowed down for a couple seconds, then resumed the same pacing that the verses had. Oh good, it's 5.5 minutes. I was done with my comments halfway through the song. And there's a nice minute and 15-second instrumental section, which is a choice. I like the instruments, but a minute and 15 seconds is just to fill space. It could have easily ended at the 2-minute and 43-second mark, and I would have been content, but they added an extra 2 minutes of just nothing.
Yeah, that runtime is ultimately why it's down here. I just don't think it makes good use of that runtime, and by the end of it, I am extremely bored. So yeah, overall, comes in at 103. Just like kings and queens. Coming in at number 102, we've got Forever Halloween. This album closes with back-to-back slow and boring songs that I don't have saved. Half in it. This one, on the other hand, is over 5 minutes long, which is just dandy. I love Halloween. It's actually one of my favorite holidays. But did we need to make the song about it this boring? I don't really have a ton to say. This is another one where there's really not a big change. It just remains status quo for most of the song. The only reason that I put this above will all be is there's a really nice guitar section at the end that I think manages to keep the song up out of the Nat playlist ever so barely. Um, but that's the only reason it's not following up these four words with back-to-back Forever Halloween snoozers.
I don't know how this one stays out of that playlist. You're on something. Instead of piano and boring, we now have soft guitar and boring. Hey, at least I can actually hear the vocals in this one, though. That is definitely a plus. They add drumming 45 seconds in, and it's almost not needed. It doesn't add any pacing. It's just out. It's just added noise for some reason. The chorus has no change to it at all. There's no change in the song that would add any value. Plus, the fact that it's 5 minutes long makes this a tough listen. Not playlist for sure. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I think the last song is significantly better than this snoozer.
Oh, I mean, if you think it's going in, it's going in. It's for me. It's really just there's a nice guitar section at the end of the song that I really like. But I mean, I'm not going to fight you on it. It's a nice guitar section, but I can get nice guitar sections elsewhere.
Other songs have much better guitar sections and are way less boring.
Yes, agreed, and that is why it ultimately did end up down here at 102. Coming in number 101, we got Ice Cave. This song is incredibly different. I know a lot of people really like it, but I'm, as you can tell, not a big fan of it. I appreciate the instrumentation, but the absence of a true chorus is what keeps the song down here. The guitars are nice, but there's nothing for me to sing along to and get stuck in my head, which personally, for me, is a one way ticket towards the bottom of the list. It also goes on for almost 5 minutes. The screaming at the end definitely caught me off guard, and I do like the increase in pace at the end of the song, but not enough to raise it up any higher. When making my final edits, I actually ended up unsaving this song. It came up on my flight, and I was like, do I really want to listen to this? Absolutely not. So it had a one-way ticket to unsaved train and a one-way ticket towards the bottom of this list.
Is that screaming to open a Maine song? Yes. Can I not have that? Thanks. The guitar and drums definitely give off the Halloween vibe, which I would assume they're going for, but the pacing issue is just still not here. He's almost yelling because the drums are too loud. The guitar work is great, don't get me wrong, but the lack of pacing here is really painful. No change, no catchiness, no thanks. Plus another 5 minute entry. Ouch. I think we all be as miles ahead of this song too.
People actually really like this one.
Well, they're on something, so.
I am not one of those people, as you can tell, and for me, this bonus track comes in at 101.
You thought I was boring. You called me on the phone to arrange my birthday party. Well, this ain't a scripted movie.
Coming in at number 100, we've got Birthday in Los Angeles. This was a song that I debated on saving so many times, and by that I mean virtually every single time it came up on Shuffle. The song is just John's voice and very minimal backing instrumentation. I literally spent my entire listen to this song for this video debating whether or not I wanted to unsave it. There's just nothing catchy about this song. It's slow and it's boring. I like the fuck you LA at the end, but is that enough to keep it saved? If I have to think about unsaving it every time it comes up, I probably should unsave it. So I did, and it ends up down here.
I don't know why there was a debate. It should have been unsaved. Anyways, and you really just don't like this album. I mean, this one is my favorite, clearly. Dying in LA? Did someone say LA? Dying in LA? Dying! Anywho, is that a ukulele as the main instrument? Yes. Yes, it is. The first 15 seconds are putting a cassette tape in a player, which is pretty cool. But the instruments come in, and my enjoyment has left, and I became bored. There's some pacing here, very little, but there is some to this one. It's not very catchy, and I'm having a hard time differentiating the different parts of the song. This is definitely another miss.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm a really big Forever Halloween fan, so I would like to apologize to those in advance who actually do enjoy this album, because you're going to see a lot of songs off of it near the bottom. Birthday in Los Angeles comes in at number 100.
I'll make this right. Oh, I will try. Jenny, don't you cry. Close your eyes.
Coming in at number 99, we've got Jenny. I'm pretty sure that this is a scorching hot take. I think the song's kind of well thought of with the fan base. Not 100% sure, but I don't care. This song is so incredibly slow, and it's super boring as well. The verses are a fine build, but there's just no payoff in that chorus. I am so incredibly bored. I unsaved this song while listening to it for this video. Sorry, not sorry. Every time it comes up, I skip it, so I might as well unsave it. This is another one that if Sean wants the nap playlist, I won't argue.
Wait, this isn't on the same album. Are you okay? There's songs with like good production in here, huh? The instrumentation in the beginning is cool. The instrumentation in the beginning has a cool hook to it. It's not quick, but it is pretty neat. Lacking of pacing is still an issue here as well. Come on, chorus, give me something, give me something! Wow, what a letdown. That's all I get? The same pacing, louder instrumentation, and it's even slows down at the end of the chorus to hold the title line? Wonderful. Not sure how this is a hot take. If people think this is a hot take, they're on something, because this song is incredibly fine. It's not even funny.
So what's the verdict? Nap playlist or no? It's your call.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. Yeah.
Well, comes in at number 99. And that's going to wrap up the bottom tier. We're going to get on into the meh tier. These are the songs that I do have saved, but I definitely think they're on the lower end of the discography. So let's get it on. Coming in at number 98, we've got Kennedy Curse. This is another one that I debate on saving every time it comes up. It's not even a 4-minute long song, and it really is a drag to get through. The verses make up a majority of the song, and you can barely hear John singing over the instruments. The chorus speeds up the song ever so slightly, but John is basically screaming at the top of his lungs and can still be barely heard over the instrumentation. I like the end of the song where the pace is finally kept up for an extended period of time, but it takes a really long time to get there. This is, like I mentioned, this is the lowest ranked song that I have saved, and it's hanging on by a thread in that same tier.
Hey, we're back to your favorite album, Brett. I really got worried. It had been a couple songs. Yeah, that guitar lick is pretty nice, not gonna lie. But I am more interested in the guitar work than the lyrics, and it's pretty easy to do so because of how loud the guitar here is in the mix. The drums coming in at the minute mark add some slight pacing, but honestly, I wanted a little bit more to keep my attention. It would actually allow me to actually tap my foot along to the song. Oh, the chorus is here. Thanks for the pre-chorus. Oh, wait, there was none. It just kind of appears. When it shows up, it keeps the pacing, which is cool, but I wanted an actual build. And that's my biggest complaint is there's just no flow to the song. Each different part just kind of appears, the verses and the choruses. I mean, there aren't really any transitions, and the instrumentation is actually really
well. Yeah. So overall, it comes in 98. Coming in number 97, we've got You Left Me. What is that intro? Like techno with auto-tune? Can we not do that, please and thank you? I'm glad the song is a one-off on that front. The techno thing lasts for a solid 30 seconds, which is 30 seconds too long. The guitars then come in and I start bobbing my head along, and this chorus is actually pretty solid, but it's followed up by a lot of auto-tuned woes. It's also fairly repetitive, and that weird techno thing comes back around in the bridge. There's not a huge difference between a lot of the Can't Stop Won't songs, in my opinion, as you'll see as we get further higher up on the list. But this one is basically down here from that techno weirdness.
Is this an EDM Maine song? Am I listening to the Maine or Owl City or Skrillex? I can't really tell. The pacing is there for once, but I'm not looking for a synthesizing drum beat with no guitars. I actually would like actual instrumentation, please. The amount I'm actually confused with this song is too much to even talk about. I don't want this song. I wish it didn't exist. Not because it's bad, but because I wanted actual instrumentation in a Maine song. The pacing is there to almost bob my head along, but I'm just confused. Good thing is there's a solid repetition of woes, because who doesn't love that? I honestly would put the song with the snoozers at the bottom because I'm that upset with its Owl City, Maine song.
Well, so comes in at 97. Coming in number 96, we have Kiss and Sell. It opens with some heavy stereotypical pop punk drums. The verses have a pretty nice flow to them, as does the pre-chorus, and it leads pretty well into the chorus, but that chorus is really disappointing, to be honest. Then those hard drums come back. Um, I like the twinkling keys that lead into the chorus, but every time that chorus comes in, I'm left disappointed. And I honestly couldn't really figure out why for a while, but I think I got it, and I think it's the typical Sean complaint. The chorus slows the song down. The verses are faster, and then the chorus comes in and it just kind of kills all that momentum that the song had going for it. It's not a bad song, it's just a very okay one, and a very stereotypical run of the mill pop punk song.
Hey, how'd you know that was my complaint? What the heck? You just stole all my lines. What the heck, man?
Did I? I didn't know you said that for the song. Sorry.
The intro beats with some cool guitar work makes me want to tap my foot along. The chiming pre-chorus is cool, but that's the chorus. I'm sad. Pacing, guys. Can we please have that? We don't want to slow the song down when the crescendo of the song comes on. We speed up. No? Okay. The song sounds honestly lazy from a vocal perspective. I'm just upset.
There we go. There we go. You didn't say it. So overall, Kiss and Sell 96. Number 95, we have I Must Be Dreaming. The title of the album comes from this song. The first half of the verse is a little slow, but then the guitars pick up leading into that chorus. But this is another one where the chorus is fairly underwhelming. And this song is really chorus reliant. It's not a particularly long song, and the chorus is repeated 4 times. So it relies heavily on that chorus. It's just not fully clicking for me here. It doesn't do anything wrong necessarily, but every element of this song, it's another one that's just incredibly okay. I thought about saving it, but I didn't because it's the Maine and I love them. But I got close with this one. It's just so fine.
That that intro is pretty dope. Not gonna lie. I don't like how they cut the guitars out to put a synthesizing drum in there in the first verse, though. The chorus actually adds some slight speed and it has a "Hey Jealousy" sound in the chorus, which is nice. But the verses are very lacking and are the holdback for me. They sound like filler of space, so I can actually get to the chorus again. After that first chorus, the same pacing isn't kept. Plus, the slowdown with heavy drumming in the bridge just slows the song down.
Yep. So comes in at 95. Coming in at number 94, we got This Is the End. This song highlights how the production on John's voice all throughout Can't Stop, Won't Stop just isn't the best. There's a lot of sections that rely heavily on his singing, and his singing would just get a lot better in the future. I appreciate the backing guitar work, but this chorus is incredibly okay, even by first album standards. I like when the piano comes in, it's a nice little change of pace. The chanting is back, and I don't think it works really well here. It's just another all around extremely okay song. A lot of this album I have saved just because it's the Maine, and this is another example of that.
The intro guitar with his vocals sound really nice, and the drumming placement 10 seconds in is cool. I honestly wanted to save this song. I don't really know why. The guitar work is well done, and there is some foot tapping ability here, but I do agree with Brett that I don't like the chanting, and that's what holds me back from saving it, is the lack of pacing in the chorus. And the fact that it holds most of the notes out. The keyboard change is honestly really dope and well needed. Then they bring the drums back in, but it's with the chanting that I'm not a huge fan of. This is the closest to being saved, and it's not even close.
I can't even believe this one got close, to be honest with you. We're still in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, comes in at 94. Coming in at number 93, we have Lonely. Like I mentioned earlier, this is another interlude song off of Lovely Little Lonely. But it is a little bit longer at around 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and that is ultimately why it is included on this list. The flow out of I Only Want to Talk to You into this song is incredible. I like the keys here. The instrumentation creates almost a haunting kind of vibe. I like them when the guitars come in and the beat drops. I do groove along. And I think it's the placement on the album before How Do You Feel works really well to give you a second to breathe before that big closing track roars its way in. But it is just an interlude, and that is why it's down here.
The song has an ending of a movie, insert heavy walking vibe to it, if you know what I mean. I assume since it's on this album that it had to be something off about it, since I do have the song saved on this album, so I assumed it was an interlude or something. I didn't even look at your comments, it just sounded like an interlude. The pacing is fairly slow, and I don't know what the backing noise is, but it is really loud. But the vocals do its job in filling space. But I mean, it's an interlude.
Yeah. So it's an interlude. Comes in here at 93. Coming in at number 92, we have Lost in Nostalgia. I'm going to tell you right now, do not get used to seeing songs off of Lovely Little Lonely Low. You're going to be waiting a while for the rest of them. This is more of an interlude than an actual song, and that is why it's down here. There's a nice beat to it, and it keeps my head bobbing, even if it is an incredibly simple song. But like I said, it's pretty much an interlude.
What a bass line to start the song out. It's actually really, really dope. Not gonna lie, I instantly tapped my foot along here. The repetition of the title line does sour my likeness of the song, plus the 30 seconds of do's after the first chorus hurts my ears. Oh, that's it? Thought it was longer. Interesting. I did not realize the song was less than 2 minutes. I also didn't know it was an interlude. So.
Yeah, I don't know if it is an interlude or not, but it's definitely structured like one. So I put it with the other interlude. So comes in at 92. At number 91, we have Whoever She Is. Here we get our first real take at a slow acoustic ballad. Which, if you've seen any of our other videos, you would know that slow acoustic ballads are either in one of two camps. They either hit and are stupid high, or whiff and are stupid low. There's no in the middle. Unfortunately, this is an example of the latter. I do think this chorus is slightly catchy, and the song as a whole is pretty. There's a nice little touch of piano in the background. There's also a nice little build near the end of the song, and some nice backing violins to it as well. But it is a little slow and it is boring. It's not an awful ballad, but it's another one that's just very fine.
Starting off with some Iris type guitar work is really nice, but it has to have an Iris execution, and the song is just not Iris. Ballads with lack of pacing that don't hit are tough to enjoy. The flow musically is nice, but the song is just that a fine ballad with some nice guitar work. There isn't much of a change from verse to chorus, and when the song goes further along, the guitar work just overshadows the vocals here.
Yeah. So overall, comes in at 91. This song has a very iconic line in it. 8123 means everything to me. For those who don't know, 8123 is the address of a parking garage that the band spent a lot of time at when they were growing up, and the number has grown to have a much bigger meaning to this day, as it is now the name of their management team. It's an important line, but the song as a whole, very okay. It's a very stereotypical first album song. The production is kind of iffy, with the drums being extremely loud in the mix. The chorus is solid, but I think the punch in that line, "We all roll along," is kind of underwhelming. It's trying to really hit hard, and I think it kind of misses. The song is almost 4 minutes long, and by the end of the song, I'm definitely ready to be on to the next one. It's another fine song.
This has an Angels and Airwaves style instrumentation to open up the song, which is cool. When the rest of the band comes in, they add a nice lick to it. Then the verse comes in with that standard pop punk style vocals, but this is underwhelming from a chorus perspective. They cut the whole band out to say the title line at the end of the chorus, and then there's a solid 5 seconds of no noise, just a fine pop punk song.
I completely agree. Comes in at 90.
Ain't nothing but a thunderstorm.
Coming in at number 89, we've got Take What You Can Carry. The song opens up with some claps and then some keys, and right off the bat, you can tell that it's going to be kind of an interesting one. The verses are a slow build to a chorus that slows the song down, which is really not what I was looking for. The extended version of the chorus as the second chorus, honestly, is not much better. I'm not the biggest Forever Halloween fan to begin with, and my re-listen of the opening song is reminding me exactly why. It's not horrible, and the production is good on this one, which gets it above a lot of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, but it's another very okay one.
You saved a song off this album? Wow. The opening keys are cool, and I do like the pacing with the claps. I feel like the song is trying to be a pop song, but it's just not hitting. The repetition of "You Get What You Paid For" is slightly annoying. The slight pace change in what I think is the chorus is nice, but it's not even close enough to save. Just a fine song.
I completely agree. Comes in at 89. Number 88, we've got White Walls. I didn't recognize this song by name. That's not good. Ask Sean how good I am with song names. That's a problem. Uh, I do have this song saved, so I guess it just never comes up because, like, even listening to it for this video, I genuinely did not remember the song. Like, even into the chorus was just not ringing any bells here. So clearly, it's bland and forgettable. But honestly, that is an extremely true statement. It's a pretty bland. I was gonna say bland and meh, but bland works too. It's a pretty bland and meh song, and I can see why I completely forgot about it.
Back-to-back Halloween saves. Let's go. This sounds like a song that has the same two notes throughout, which is not good. I could tell this chorus was gonna suck before it even came on. The build was nothing, and the chorus was just like the build, exactly nothing. The keys in the background keep the pacing up, which is good to see, but there's no change at all. This song is extremely basic and not a lot good.
Yeah, I feel like I might have put this one a couple spots too high, but too late now. Comes in 80. Coming in number 87, we've got Fucked Up Kids. There's a nice guitar line at the start of this song, but the verses are incredibly fine, and I do have issues with the chorus. This is another one where John's vocals are kind of drowned out by the instrumentation. I do like the backing instrumentation, and that is why it's as high as it is. I also appreciate how the second verse doesn't slow the song back down and keeps the tempo going. It gives the second half of the song a much better pace to it than the first half. There's a nice guitar solo in the latter section of the song as well, which is nice. The outro slows it back down and brings back in that piano, and there's chants at the end of it, which I'm not crazy about. But this is another song that I completely forgot existed. That coming back to it, it's fine overall.
Hey, he's cursing here. What the fudgesicles? We are a PC channel. The guitar line in the intro is pretty basic, just like the rest of the song. It's the exact same note for 41 seconds. When the drums come in, they keep the pacing up, but doesn't catch my attention at all. I legit have no idea where the chorus is, and I mean that genuinely. The second quote-unquote chorus and onwards instrumentations are way too loud. This whole album, I can just barely hear the vocals.
Yep, another solid Forever Halloween entry comes in here at 87.
Let me tell you something that you don't know. Well, the bars are all closed and we got no place to go.
Coming in at number 86, we've got While Listening to Rock and Roll. Nice. It's not off of one of the two albums. It's not off of Forever Halloween or Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Let's go. This song has almost a folky vibe to it, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. But the reason it's down here is because it's almost 5 minutes long, and it just cannot keep my attention for that long. There's no real change in the instrumentation, and there's no real catchy element to it. Apparently, the I asked Katie to dance and I almost flew it line is a reference to Mayday Parade's song Miserable at Best, which is a fact that I only threw in here because Sean loves Mayday Parade and we'll be doing a video on them at some point. After around 4 minutes, all the instrumentation cuts out except for an acoustic guitar, and you get John singing. And it honestly just adds more slow elements to an already slow song that didn't really need any more slow elements.
That is a line in Mayday, or in Miserable Best. In Miserable at Best. I'd love to hear Mayday Parade influences. Unfortunately, this song is not miserable at best, so I like this song significantly less. This is Nat playlist boring. It's not even an argument. There is nothing happening here. Yes, there is instrumentation, so that's cool, I guess. Although the guitar riff after the chorus is nice and appreciated, and the line "I only kissed her on the mouth because she told you to" is a line for you. The crescendo to the title line is a slowdown, then they cut everything out for a guitar lick, which is cool, but I like pacing, not this song.
Oof, I guess rev up those fryers.
Rev up those fryers!
Comes in at 86. Number 85, we have I'm Sorry. Somebody on Genius Lyrics said that their hot take was that this was the worst song in the Maine's discography, and it was only a 2-year-old comment, so that was pretty recent. As you can see, I definitely don't agree with that, though I definitely don't think it's a masterpiece or anything. It's a little boring and kind of slow, and it is over 4 minutes long, but I think as a whole it's incredibly fine. They definitely could have cut a chorus to make it a little bit shorter, but like I said, it's completely fine. I like it enough to have it saved, but if Sean wants to hit it with it, this sure does exist, doesn't it? I could totally see it. I had this way too high in my first go around at this list, and I rightfully bumped it down in my final rankings.
Not gonna lie, the drumming is actually solid and calm myself coming along to it. Then they repeat Never Ever Again, as you just heard, and my enjoyment went down. Then the chorus came in, and my enjoyment went down even more. It's so disappointing. No change, and the vocals get softer. Why? The backing beat is the only redeeming quality here. This song is below the song exists.
Oof. I hate to see it. Comes in at 85. Number 84, we've got Everything I Asked For. I like the guitar riff that opens up the song. It goes well with those backing drums. John's voice is a little lower in the mix than I would ideally like. He sounds kind of drowned out, especially in the verses. There are chanting backing vocals at points, which are fine. The chorus is decent, it's fairly catchy, albeit a little repetitive, but honestly the main draw to this song for me is the guitars. The song as a whole has a nice flow. I just think it's outclassed at this point by songs that would come later.
Guys, this song has pacing. I like pacing. This definitely has some early production vocals since I'm having a hard time hearing it. The chorus is incredibly basic instrumentation wise, and the Everything I Asked For repetition is actually no fun. Hate to say it, but the song is incredibly basic. I'm not a huge fan of the song other than the backing beat. Fuck it. I'll say it. I'm not afraid. I'll do it. This song sure does exist, doesn't it?
Comes in at 84. We've got Girls Do What They Want. The song builds to the chorus pretty well, and I do like the line "Girls do what they want, boys do what they can." But there's a lot of woes in the chorus here, as well as a fair amount of repetition. I like the bridge a lot. I appreciate the lyrics, and I think it leads really well into that chanting section. That chanting section works pretty well in this song, actually, and it does a great job of keeping up the energy into that final chorus. This is one that I know Sean 100% won't like, but I have kind of a soft spot for. I know it's not crazy high or anything, but I still do enjoy it despite the flaws. Both of these last two Can't Stop, Won't Stop songs that we talked about got hit pretty hard in the final rankings, though.
Fun fact, do not like this song, so you're right on that. First of all, yes, girls do what they want. I like the guitar work in the verses here, but please build to something. Oh, it builds to loud instrumentation and softer vocals. Lovely. The pacing after the first verse is solid, but the song itself is very basic, and gotta love some woes to fill space. That's Brett's favorite thing in the world. Another basic song, but at least it has some pacing to it.
Yeah, so overall comes in at 83. And that's going to wrap up the med tier. We're going to get on into the average tier. These songs are just a little bit better, so I felt like I had to draw the tier line. So, let's get it on. Number 82, we've got Time to Go. I don't know if you've noticed an album trend, but literally every song that we've talked about so far, other than the two songs that are basically interludes off of Lovely Little Lonely, come from either Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Forever Halloween, or the occasional Pioneer song. Let's keep that trend going with another one off of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, shall we? The first verse is so incredibly okay until the end of it, which leads actually pretty well into the chorus. The chorus is fairly catchy, but it is simple, only being 5 lines, one of which is repeated. But the flow throughout the song is really impressive. The way it transitions from verse to chorus and back works really well. Overall, it's a first album song. It's fine, but I did rise it up a bit in my final rankings, enough to get it into this next year. I think there's a big enough difference between this song and the previous one where the tiers needed to be divided.
Can I listen to Time to Go by State Champs? That was a much better listen than whatever this was.
Our Time to Go by State Champs.
Yeah.
Our Time to Go.
Whatever. The intro finger picking is pretty dope here. I literally cringed when the vocals came in. For some reason, they sounded really off key or something to me. I don't know why. This is another song where the instrumentation is just too loud in the mix. The song does have some solid pacing throughout. The quote-unquote chorus is just repeating tonight and saying a few more lines. There isn't a change which I would have liked here. I want to like this song from the instrumentation, but something's stopping me from doing that. If the transitions were better, I could see myself saving it, but they're not.
Hey, we got a long way to go. We're in the 80s. I'm sure we're going to save at some point. So overall, 82. Coming in at number 81, we are welcomed back to Forever Halloween with Blood Red. Some nice guitars open up this song, and then the piano comes back in what almost sounds like a Bruce Springsteen kind of song opening. The verse is honestly incredibly boring, but I do like the chorus when it comes in. There's some nice pace and guitars, but I'm just left wanting a little bit more from it. I really don't love how they slow the song back down to a crawl following the chorus into that second verse. There's such a great contrast between the chorus and the verses, and the chorus isn't quite good enough to make up for the slog that is those verses.
Are they going for spooky / haunting vibes? Because just listening to those opening instrumentation and the echoing vocals definitely sound like that. But hey, this song adds pacing in the chorus. We love that. Is it enough to keep me engaged? No, but it actually adds it instead of subtracting, which is awesome. The verses are honestly really boring and sounds like filler just to get to that chorus. And I like the pre-chorus to get to said chorus, but those verses crush any momentum the song has. The backing instrumentation in the chorus is just so much heavier, which I do enjoy and think it fits in well with the song. And the chorus adds even more speed, which is awesome. I don't love the ending yelling of Blood Red in the off-key piano, though. But those but those verses are like a real let down and hold me from saving it.
It's fine. Again, long way to go. We'll get the same eventually, I'm sure. So, 81.
Forever. Even if forever's just for now. We're on fire, let us burn.
Coming in at 80, we've got Forevermore. Guys, it's a new album. We got You Are Okay up here. Wow, this song is stripped back. It's just John and an acoustic guitar. Honestly, when you consider how bare the song is, the fact that it was even able to make it this high is kind of an accomplishment. John has a nice flow here, and the chorus is pretty catchy for just vocals and an acoustic guitar, but it just can't compete with songs that have more going on and are catchier. I'm not crazy about the bridge, which is just which is just woos and oohs. But the chorus is still catchy, and I do appreciate the vocals, though I did end up moving the song down in my final rankings.
I haven't seen this album before. Beep, 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 new album alert! Yeah, 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 yeah. The backing acoustic guitar is a really nice compliment to the vocals here. The catchiness factor is there as well. Love the pacing that the song has. I would have liked a transition from verse to chorus itself. Instead of the chorus just appearing, this is another song I like, but not enough to save.
Hey, we're getting closer though, guys. I'm sure by the time we get higher up on the list, we'll have a bunch in the same tier. We're getting close. So overall, 80. Coming in number 79, we got Run. We had a nice one-song break from Forever Halloween, but we're back, don't worry. The song opens up with a really nice guitar riff, but for some reason when the verses come in, all the guitars basically cut out and you're left with just drums and John's voice. The guitars come back eventually though, but that instrumentation change really caps my enjoyment of the verses. And honestly, for some reason, this chorus has always sounded really clunky to me. I think it's because the backing instrumentation is way faster than the speed of the vocals, and it just all comes together kind of off for some reason. I do like the instrumentation though, and that's what gets it as high as it is, but overall, it's not a fine one.
Hey, we're back to my favorite album. The opening guitar riff. The opening a guitar riff is cool, and the faster drums are a change of pace from the rest of the album. And then the vocals come in. Why do they sound distant? Can they be strong vocals and not almost phoned in? And what is that chorus? It does nothing with the pacing. It just adds heavier instrumentation for some reason. The vocals slow the song down, like Brett was saying in the chorus. Plus, who doesn't love repetition of the title line? I know I do. I would have this song lower. I think the last song is much better than this one.
Yeah, well, it's my list. So, Run, 79. Coming in number 78, we have Into Your Arms. Following our return to Forever Halloween, we have a return to Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This one starts out pretty different with the piano. I like the big band feel that comes in, and then all the instruments cut out, and you're left with just John and the acoustic guitar. I think the amazing smile line in the first verse is kind of clever, considering what you would expect to be there to match with the rhyme scheme. The chorus is pretty decent, not amazing or anything, but by first album standards, it's pretty solid. The bridge goes pretty hard with the electric guitars as well, which I like. I definitely appreciate the instrumentation work going on here as well, as there's just a lot of different instruments to balance, and I think all things considered, it comes together fairly well. Though overall, I did move the song down in my final rankings.
Oh, this is the original version. Oh. I honestly only heard the Taylor Acorn version of the song, and I don't like that song. So, how does the original version work? The piano with added guitar and drums honestly works fairly well here. Then they changed to just an acoustic guitar and vocals with some slower pacing. The lead up to the chorus is there, but the chorus is extremely flat in my opinion. Does nothing with that build. I do like the upper octave singing of holding your arms or holding arms out. I think the bridge might be my favorite part of the song. It has the same pacing as the chorus. I think I wrote bridge, but I don't think that's right. And the more aggressive instrumentation works there. I still don't like it enough to save it. I think it's kind of flat.
Well, obviously, if you didn't like the Taylor Acorn version, we know you would never prefer the original to your girl Taylor. So we do have a video on Taylor Acorn that's currently out right now, so be sure to check that out. Although it is kind of old and outdated, so hint, wink, wink, nudge on that. We might be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, come to the 78.
And all the chances we take, what we're measured by.
Number 77, we got Waiting for My Sun to Shine. Okay, so this is a little bit of a long one because of all that this song is. So I was unsure how to handle this because obviously any song that's 14 minutes long more than likely has a one-way trip to last. Sorry, not sorry. But that's not what this is. So you have the actual song, which is 4 minutes long, Waiting for My Sun to Shine. Then like 7 minutes of silence, and then you actually have a hidden song called One Pack of Smokes, which the whole thing was designed for when CDs were prominent, which is when this album came out back in 2011. So basically, the thought process behind it was, oh, you've listened to your 4 minutes of Waiting for My Sun to Shine. The album's over, but oh, you kept the CD player in, you kept the CD running, and oh, here's a hidden song, One Pack of Smokes, that you wouldn't expect because it's not listed in the track list. Now, when you translate that to streaming services, it translates pretty terribly. So, for the sake of the placement here, we're only talking about Waiting for My Sun to Shine, which is the 4 minute song at the beginning. Oh, I will discuss One Pack of Smokes for those who are curious, but like I told Sean, he only needs to listen to the actual song that's being ranked, and that is the first 4 minutes, which is Waiting for My Sun to Shine. The rest of it, like I just mentioned, is irrelevant here. So the first part leading to the first chorus is fairly slow and boring, but after that first chorus, the guitars and speed pick up, as does my enjoyment of the song. I really like the faster instrumentation here, and the guitars are really funky. However, the instrumental section of this song is incredibly long, and the section with vocals is just okay, so I can't put it any higher. The section that I like just isn't long enough to make up for the section that I don't. Now, like I mentioned, for those who are curious, One Pack of Smokes is also here. It's okay as a hidden track. Definitely not worth waiting around and listening to a bunch of silence for 7 minutes and then a really long instrumental intro for. But overall, I do enjoy the 4 minutes of Waiting for My Sun to Shine. I just wish that when translating this to streaming services, they would have separated. Like, I get the thought process originally with the CDs, but when in today's era with streaming, they should have had Waiting for My Sun to Shine and One Pack of Smokes as two separate songs, because listening to those 7 minutes of silence is just stupid. Nobody's going to do that.
The John Mayer style lick in the intro is neat. The basic beat behind the vocals slowed the verse down, however, not so neat. The All I Know sounds extremely off key vocally, and I think the chorus is just louder instrumentation with no pacing. Oh, that's a guitar part. I love that. There's some added pace here. We needed that. I was actually getting pretty bored. That then they slow it back down. Why? I was actually getting really excited. As much as I love John Mayer guitar solos, you are not John Mayer, so I'd rather just listen to him play it and sing it. And then everything almost just cuts out to a crawling pace for those vocals to come back in, which is just oh so lovely. Then the original pacing comes back in. Oh, and then there's oh good, and then there's the repeating. All I know is back. I know I have to listen to the only. I know I only have to listen to the first half of the song. But
Yeah. So Sean actually wrote a nice little rant on on the rest of it. But I don't know. I guess he either didn't read my explanation for why it was there, or
no, I didn't
Sean.
read it. I was just going into it, and I had a nice little thing going, but it's not worth it if we're not
But
talking about it. So.
yeah, no. For full disclosure, if the full song was counting the long silent part that you ranted about, it would not be this high. But we're only talking about the 4 minute actual song. So overall, Waiting for My Sun to Shine, 77. Coming in at number 76, we've got Give It To Me. So the Maine actually did a Q&A on their Instagram a couple of months back, and I forget who, but somebody said that this is the one song that they just can't fathom ever playing live ever again. Honestly, I can see why. Just read the lyrics. They kind of sound like John is forcing himself on this girl. It's not the best look. Especially in the bridge, you got soon enough, girl, you're going to realize that when the pretty boys try to get next to you, they really just want to have sex with you. And then him saying all he wants to do is get next to her, like the, the next line, and spending the entire song saying to give it to him, not the best look. Even getting past that, the song itself is just very fine. I like the verses, but the chorus is very okay on top of being very well reliant. I definitely agree that this one is better left off the set list. If you're gonna go to a black and white song, there's plenty of better decisions.
Hey, this album is new. I haven't seen this one yet. There is some pacing. Um, there is some pacing with this one, but the repetition fest goes on. Oh, with the woes, and that's just not what I want in the chorus. This could be me, but this song just bothers me. It's too fast, and what I mean by that is the vocals don't flow very well with the instrumentation. But there is some solid pacing here, so I'm guessing that's how it got up here.
Yeah, it is indeed how it got up. No, 76. Number 75, we have Unlost. This may be the most overrated song in the discography, in my opinion. I'm sorry, hold your tomatoes. I see people clamoring for this song to get played live all the time. I don't understand it. It's such an okay song. The verses are fine, a little slow and boring. The chorus is also fine. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I like the song, and the lines, I'm not looking to be found, just want to feel unlost, are great lyrically. But when you look at the discography, I think the song is just very middle of the road. And apparently, it's at 75, it's towards the bottom of that middle of the road, to be honest with you. And honestly, I moved it down in my final rankings even further than it already was. I just don't see it with this song, guys.
An American Candy song this low, wow, a lot must be going wrong with it. But gotta love the same note being played on piano the entire verse and the chorus. Pacing wise, it's okay. It is actually okay to build the song, guys. Come on. That is a solid description for this chorus. It's not bad. It's also not good either. I agree with Brett. The song as a whole, it's fine. Fuck it. I'll say it. I'm not afraid. It's not my video. My opinion doesn't matter on this video. This song sure does exist, doesn't it?
So see, you want to throw tomatoes at somebody, throw them at him, not me.
It's not my video. Can't throw tomatoes at me.
Throw it at him anyway. 75, almost.
Us fragile things falling to pieces, but we're all the same, broken fractions.
Number 74, we got Broken Parts. The orchestra is back yet again on this album, and yet again, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. The verses are fine, and I think the pre-chorus leads really well into that chorus, but I was expecting a lot more from the chorus, to be honest. It has that Owl City problem, where the build is entirely to an instrumental section instead of a big explosion chorus. It's also over 4 minutes long, which honestly isn't even that kind of long, but it just cannot keep my attention for the entirety of that runtime.
Is that an orchestra as the backing instrumentation? Yes. Yes, it is. I don't know where the chorus is here. Is it the broken part section or is it the orchestra part after that? This could be me, but the vocals in the song sound like Lifehouse's singer for some reason. Whatever that chorus is, it's very lackluster, builds to nothing, and the synthesizer slash orchestra section after they say broken parts is just odd. The build to said chorus is nice, but the payoff is just not worth the price of admission. This song definitely has some broken parts to it, literally, because that's what the song is called.
Owl City comparison?
No.
Broken Parts 74. Number 73, we've got Cars and Caution Signs. I like the groove of this song from the start. The synth sounds almost 80s-esque, but the song takes 40 seconds to get going, which is annoying. I do enjoy the verses, but yet again, this song is suffering from the classic Owl City problem. There's no chorus. There's like 3 lines that lead into an instrumental section that Genius Lyrics calls a chorus, but it's not really a chorus. It's got the Owl City, there's no chorus problem. I like what's here, and that's why it's as high as it is, but it's hard for a song with no chorus to get particularly high for me. It is also 5 minutes long, so.
The intro has club music written all over it. Oh, that's just a 40-second intro of just sound. Who doesn't love that? I do like the pacing that this song has during the verses. Then there's a guitar section, which is where I think the chorus should be. I would actually like a chorus. Can I swap the instrumental part for the chorus? How about next chorus? That's a little better. There is at least some singing before the instrumental section comes in again. I'm assuming the pacing is what gets it up here, and I can get behind that. The chorus, when it does come, is fine, but nothing outstanding. To finish this instrumental song off, there is a minute and 6 second instrumental section from the 3 minute mark to the 4 minute and 6 second mark. I'm honestly stunned this song got so high just from how many instrumental breaks this song has.
I mean, I like the instrumental breaks with this one, but it can't get higher because of that classic Owl City problem. So, 73.
Time it keeps on running out, keeps on. Just so you know.
Coming in number 72, we've got The Mood I'm In / JSYK, just so you know. This is definitely a change of pace in the self-titled. The first four tracks are all upbeat and dancey, and this one is neither of those things. I like the instruments that bring in the song. The verses are fine, but what's weird about this song is that the explosion that you would want in the chorus comes in the pre-chorus. I get why. The chorus wants you to focus more on the lyrics. And while I do like the lyrics, don't get me wrong, this one just doesn't have that big catchy section that keeps me returning to it and getting any higher on the list.
The intro guitars almost sound faint, then there's another guitar that comes in much louder with the vocals. Pacing wise, I was grooving along to that verse. The entire chorus is just loud drumming and them just saying, you know. That's it? Cool. The second verse brings back the first verse's pacing, which is great, but the chorus is really disappointing. The bridge is that same loud drumming from the chorus with distant yelling vocals. Again, I'm not sure how this one got so high.
I like it, and that's what matters because it's my list. So, 72.
I was headed insane. The devil told me his name.
In number 71, we've got Misery. The song opens highlighting John's voice with that backing guitar, and that's the only instrumentation. It's a little overcommitted into the song, so it definitely does take a while to get going. It's pretty slow in general until that second chorus, which just kind of explodes out of nowhere. I do enjoy it when it comes in, but it's a little on the aggressive and yelling side for me. I really like the guitar solo that comes in after, and then they slow down the song yet again, which is highly unfortunate. Then it explodes back in, but there's too many slow points and the chorus isn't catchy enough to get this any higher.
Another cool intro lick on this album, like that first verse is really at a snail's pace. It's so slow. The chorus gets slightly faster, but the clean guitar being the only instrument leaves some to be desired. I would actually like a full band. I like when the rest I like the rest of the band coming in for the second verse, but the pacing problem is there even in the chorus. Getting louder and slightly faster for the second chorus is better than just louder, but he's yelling, which means you need to turn which means you need to turn the instrumentation down. The guitar solo after the second chorus is dope, but that's honestly my favorite part of the song, which is not a good thing.
Yep. So overall, 71.
I cannot find the words,
Coming in number 70, we have When I'm at Home. This is another one that starts out with minimal instrumentation that kind of explodes in, but this time it explodes in with some woes, which is a little annoying. The verse is really slow this one down, and the fact that the chorus kicks off with the woes is no bueno. The chorus is solid when it comes in, but it takes almost 2 minutes to get 2 minutes to get there, and we slow it back down right after. But that chorus is really solid, and that's why it's as high as it is. But there's just too much of this one that's just okay to get it any higher. And considering the song is 4.5 minutes long, that giant long instrumental section followed by even more woes is not exactly woes.
The clean guitar that builds to woes, we love to hear that. The second verse has crawling speed for the has the crawling speed like the last song has. The second chorus is slightly better, but still not what I'm looking for. More yelling vocals in this one. I don't like the backing streaming behind the heavy guitar work either. This song isn't catchy enough to keep my attention either. Not a huge fan of this one.
Yeah, hate to see it. Comes in at 70.
Sometimes you can feel so small, just like a ghost in school clothes.
At number 69, we've got Identify. The song starts off kind of slow, with that looping guitar being the only instrumentation. I like how it all picks up after John says, "Here come the fireworks, baby." And I like how the chorus comes in after, "Here comes the hurricane, baby." But I'm just left wanting a little bit more from that chorus, and that's where the song is down here. The quote unquote explosion is kind of weak, and the repetition of Identify combined with the reliance on "yeah" leads it to just not really hitting as designed. When you combine that with the verses being kind of boring, it ends up down here.
There's a clear difference between the first verse and the second one. Starting off with just guitar and then the whole band coming in. The second verse cuts the guitar out and adds a drum and a bass and some slight pacing, which is cool. The first true chorus takes 80 seconds to come in, and it's just a repetition of the title line. This is missing some catchiness, and while there is some tension released, it isn't enough for me to truly enjoy it. It isn't fast enough to keep my attention, and the verses are really underwhelming.
Overall, 69.
Oh, ain't it funny how I never needed you to know? Ain't it funny how you made it easier somehow?
Coming in at number 68, we've got Funny How. The start of the song is really just John talking in the first verse, which I'm not exactly a huge fan of. He's kind of switching back and forth from talking and singing. It sounds kind of odd. I do like the chorus though. John's voice sounds great over the acoustic guitars, and it's relatively catchy for a slow song. The second verse has some nice harmonization going on in it as well. The bridge is really nice here, and there's more nice harmonies there. It's just those verses as a whole really hold back my enjoyment of the song. Combined with the fact that slow songs are working in a disadvantage for me from the start, it leads to it being down here.
Who doesn't love story time in a song? But luckily, the singing sounds great. However, and um, and it and it's also clear that the production is also way better. There's a slight repetition of the title line, which does hold me back from full on saving it. I like the harmonizing in the second verse, but the title line being the start of every line in the chorus is my main holdback. The bridge does sounds extremely powerful, but it leads back into a 15-second pause and sound. Doesn't fully click, but definitely had a chance.
Hey, there's still a long way to go. I'm sure we'll get one. We got a lot of songs left. So, 68.
Mind all of in real time. I've never felt so comfortable in the middle of.
Number 67, we've got Love in Real Time. This apparently is supposed to wrap up the love section of XOXO from Love and Anxiety in Real Time. After a nice two songs, very confused. The anxiety section must be a tad longer. The song serves as almost an interlude, honestly. It opens with a drum beat, and that's really the entire instrumentation behind the song. I do like what's here, though, and I think it's kind of catchy for what it is. But again, it is basically an interlude, which is why it's down here.
Uh, I'm assuming with the length, this has to be an interlude. I like the beat behind the vocals here. It is fairly catchy, and the vocals sound almost 1975 esque, which is cool. There isn't really a flow here, but the song is fairly catchy for being so short.
Yeah. So overall, comes in at 67. And that's going to wrap up the average tier. We're going to get on into the good tier. These songs are just a little bit better, so let's get it on. Coming in at number 66, we have Another Night on Mars. This song absolutely feels like an album closer. The intro with all the instruments rattling is interesting, but then the piano comes in for the first time on this album. I like the way that it's used in the verses. There's a pretty nice flow going on. The chorus kind of comes out of nowhere here, but it's fairly catchy, and the sentiment about having great friends is fantastic. It works really well with the backing noises that sound like people at a bar. The song slows down in the bridge, and an acoustic guitar complements the piano just before the final chorus comes back in. But the problem I have and why it's down here is that final chorus goes on for a minute and 30 seconds and just does not need to. It makes the song drag quite a bit and feel pretty repetitive, and honestly, like I mentioned, it is why the song is down here.
I love that piano pacing wise with the vocals in the first verse. Then they slow the song down during the choruses. I was really wanting to save this song immediately. That with a 25-second interlude. Then they have a pre-chorus and a chorus. Are there verses in this song? The song is fairly catchy and has good pacing to it, but I don't like how they how slow the quote unquote verses are. I'm more confused than pleased with this one. If they kept the pacing with less repetitiveness, I would have had to save here.
Hey, but we're close. We're just getting closer as we go up the list, so I'm sure we're gonna get one sooner or later. So it comes in 66. Coming in at number 65, we have I Only Want to Talk to You. This is a longer song for Lovely Little Lonely, coming in at around 4.5 minutes. The opening has almost a folky sort of vibe to it, but this is another one where I think John's voice is kind of drowned out by the instruments in the verses, and that makes it hard to really establish a firm groove for the song. And the fact that this is on Lovely Little Lonely and that's still a problem is kind of interesting to me. The chorus comes in, and it's just a repetition of that title line, which is fairly frustrating, especially when you consider how long the runtime is. I do like the end of the song a bit better with those backing harmonies. Overall, it's definitely not a bad song, but I definitely think it pales in comparison to the rest of the non interlude version of Lovely Little Only.
This definitely has some cool backing instrumentation to bring the song in, and I like the vocals with the pacing as well. I do agree with Brett that it's very instrumental reliant, not letting the vocals really shine here. The chorus is repeating that title line, like Brett was saying, which is just oh so lovely, and I need more of that. I honestly like the verses better than the choruses, which is a problem. And I think the chorus is honestly the real holdback with the song. The repetition really hurts my enjoyment and can only max out so much. However, I do like how the bridge flows fairly effortlessly into that last chorus, which it still isn't a great chorus though. Not a huge fan of the choruses, but the verses just make up for it.
Yeah, the reason the song is down here, I do like everything about the song other than that repetition chorus. So that's why it comes in here at 65. Simple, like a spoonful of vanilla flavored ice cream, my love. Coming in at number 64, we have Vanilla. It had been a minute since we had revisited Sean's favorite album, Forever Halloween. Probably that's because we're getting higher up onto the list, so we've covered most of the songs by this point already. This was one that I didn't remember for whatever reason at the beginning. The verses are a little boring, but I found myself enjoying that chorus. I was ready to say it fits perfect on Forever Halloween because those verses are pretty boring, but this chorus is fairly better than that. I just overall I wish the verses had more pace to them, but it's a fairly solid song. I like the premise as well with John calling this girl basic and saying, just don't you dare call me vanilla. It's a solid song.
Uh, I honestly didn't think Halloween could get higher than the bottom, so this is definitely a new change of pace. It's pretty cool. The opening 25 seconds of instrumentation are a change of pace from the last two for sure, but the slower pacing in the verses makes this song need a bigger payoff in the chorus to enjoy it. But that chorus is really just fine. It's really just a letdown. It just gets louder. There's no change pacing wise. It builds to pretty much nothing. And this song name is exactly what the title line describes. It's vanilla and fairly basic.
Oof, you hate to see that. No, vanilla 64. Enough money for the real thing. We've got flames in our veins. Just enough money for the weekend. Last night I did things my mother told me not to with the Going at number 63, we have Love and Drugs. I really like the guitars and drums that open up this song before that first verse. That backing riff throughout the verses really keeps my head bobbing along throughout, and it flows really well into a fairly catchy chorus. I don't really have a ton to say here. Overall, it's just a very solid song. I just ultimately preferred others.
Boys, we got back-to-back Halloweens. Who doesn't love that? Because that's my favorite album of all time. Those intro guitars are nice with the backing pacing. I honestly caught myself bobbing my head throughout, not gonna lie. I was gonna save it, but the whole chorus is just it feels like for 5 lines and then the title line. The catchiness wise, it's there. Pacing wise, it's there. It just doesn't fully click for some reason. The song just felt like a repetitively quicker song.
Yeah, so overall, 63. in at number 62, we've got Sad Songs. The opening to this one is kind of funky. The verses slow the song down, but I really appreciate the speed up that happens in the chorus. That chorus as a whole is fairly catchy, and there's a really nice bass line that comes in after. Overall, this is another one that's definitely not groundbreaking or anything, but it's an all around solid outing from the Maine, especially off of an album that I'm not particularly fond of.
I hate to echo Brett's comments since I try not to look at them while making my own, but I do agree that the verses do slow the song down a good bit. The pre-chorus builds nicely, and the chorus speeds the song up, which is good. Like the song as a whole is good, but it's not savable. I think the bass line carries the song instrumental wise, and I'm here for it.
So overall, 63.
Under the lights, and nothing. When with you, well, it's just like it's the first time. I see you when I close my eyes. I see you like I did that night.
Coming in at number 61, we have April 7th. So when I was looking into the lyrics for this album as a whole, Genius Lyrics described Love in Real Time as kind of the end of the love side of the album and the start of the anxiety side of the album. I'm not really sure why this is on the anxiety side, so I don't really know if that's accurate because this is the love song from John to his wife. Overall, though, as talking about the song, it's a very fine one. I'm wanting a little bit more from that chorus, especially. It's not bad, but it's a little repetitive and just very okay overall. Honestly, the verses themselves are even a little bit repetitive, both the first and second one, using the line and I said, but I'm with you, well, it's just like it's the first time. You know, you don't really want the first and second verse to use the exact same line. The song is really chorus reliant, and I just don't think the chorus is quite good enough to elevate it above the middle of the list status with a discography that is this strong.
Honestly, the song is extremely fine. I agree with the. It is fairly repetitive from the "I See You" and the first timelines, like Brett was saying. The song honestly doesn't change very much from the pacing throughout. It's just an instrument, um, an, just an instrumental perspective. What's used. The chorus has more of that big band feel, whereas the verses are more focused on just the guitar aspect. Another fine song.
So overall, 61.
Clouds, but the day is done. Now all I want is to get out, 'cause it's been days, weeks, no light in this square mile.
Coming in at number 60, we have One Sunset. I really like the guitars that open the song up, but something about that drum beat when it comes in just doesn't really work for me. I enjoy the verses, but I'm not quite sure how I feel about that pre chorus. It kind of changes the pace for no real reason. The chorus comes in and it's pretty decent. I find my head bobbing along. It's another fairly all around solid song, but at the end of the day, I just prefer others.
That is some solid pacing in it, and a guitar riff that I do really enjoy. Come on, song, do something with it. I don't like the choppy vocals in the pre-chorus, but the chorus comes back in with that same original speed. But I don't know, I'm just not really impressed with it. The pre-chorus takes some of my enjoyment out of it, especially with the call and response aspect. The call and response aspect to it. However, the choruses are fine, and the verses are fine, but the choruses aren't bad here. But it's really that pre-chorus that really holds it back.
Yep. So number 60. Coming in at 59, we've got Every Road. Tell me those opening notes don't sound like Fearless by Taylor Swift. Tell me I'm wrong. The rest of the song does not, but that intro definitely does. And those guitars come back around in the post chorus that give you those same T Swizzle vibes off of that song. Fearless, the song I'm talking about. As a whole, with this song though, it's very fine all around. The verses have a nice flow to them, and the chorus isn't bad at all. But this is another one of those cases. This whole section of the list is just, the song's fine, it's solid, I like it, but the discography is just so strong, so it's very okay as a whole, and ends up down here.
Thank you, Brad. I really needed that. I needed that visual. Now I can't get that out of my head with this song. The intro guitar work is in the same key. Unfortunately, I like the verses way more than the choruses in the song as well. The intro guitar interlude to get back into the verses works really well to lead back in there. The pre-chorus and chorus just adds louder drumming, nothing pacing wise. The guitar solo also gives me some Fearless vibes, so thanks for that. Overall, the song was fine.
You're welcome, and now I hope that every time you hear this song, you think of Fearless, and every time you hear Fearless, you think of this song. So, Edward Road, 59. Coming in at 58, we've got Count 'Em 1, 2, 3. This is the highest song off of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and the song does not waste any time getting going, flowing into it right from the jump. This chorus is easily one of the catchiest, probably the catchiest on the debut, and I like the backing guitar work quite a bit. But the fact that this is easily the best chorus off of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and that is why I have it significantly higher than the rest of those songs in the album, and as high as I do in general.
You can tell that the production is much less polished right away. Although the faster drum work it it does work really well here. The and the choruses are fairly solid as well. It is very chorus reliant though. There isn't a proper flow to each portion of the song. It has the opposite problem that the last few songs have had. I don't know where the choruses are here. Sorry, I don't know where the verses are. Sorry, I don't know where the verses are.
I was like, that's not what you wrote. But anyway, Count 'Em 1, 2, 3, 58. Coming in at number 57, we've got 24 Floors. Lyrically, this song is a masterpiece. It tells a very true story of John contemplating taking his own life when he was 23. Apparently, when he played the song for his mom the first time, naturally, she cried. The lyrics do a horrifically great job of painting a picture. The lyrics of the chorus, especially, are extremely powerful. You don't want to die tonight. Take one more breath to clear your mind. Every moment's relevant, bittersweet, and delicate. Tomorrow may not come again. However, the song as a whole is a little slow for me personally, and while I definitely acknowledge its strengths and why some people might have this a lot higher, for me personally, it's a middle of the road song.
Not looking at your comments, I'm shocked that you put a slow song this high. That's high for you. Um, I've definitely heard this song before. That intro definitely sounds familiar. But man, those lyrics really hit like a ton of bricks, and they are really powerful. Unfortunately, I can relate to most of these lyrics and everything he's saying. It doesn't hit as well as it probably should, which is probably good. But with the context, even though I can relate to all all of these lyrics, but like Brett was saying, it's not quite quick enough for me either. But for a ballad, this is some powerful stuff.
Come to the 57. Coming in at 56, we've got Love You a Little featuring Taking Back Sunday and Charlotte Sands. We got the Songs of the Week Queen making her non-Songs of the Week debut. Don't worry, she will eventually get her own video. Charlotte opens up the song and she sounds great as always. The first verse has a nice trade off between the singer of Taking Back Sunday and John, but John outshines him, in my opinion, pretty significantly. I don't really like the lead singer from Taking Back Sunday's voice, and that really does hold back my enjoyment of the song. I do like that final explosion chorus. It is catchy. I knew going in that Sean was going to disagree with this placement, but I've always thought that this song was just okay. Needs more Charlotte and less Taking Back Sunday.
I've waited 48 songs for this McSlanderington covered in slander sauce to happen. This song's fantastic. This song was on a release radar somehow. I'm not entirely sure how, but like Charlotte's opening verse on muted vocals sounds great. I honestly don't mind Taking Back Sunday's singer here. It's obviously not as good as the main singer, like Brett was saying, obviously, but it adds a nice compliment to the rest of the song. Plus, pacing wise, the verses are great. Then Charlotte goes up an octave for that last chorus. This song is fantastic. This is a slander and a half, and I haven't heard this song in a long time. This is way better than anything I've heard before.
Yeah, well, it's my list, and on my list it comes in at 56. Coming in at 55, we've got If Your Light Goes Out. Fun fact on this song. John apparently wasn't a huge fan of it and wanted it left off of the album, but he was outnumbered by the other members of the band. I honestly can't tell you who's right or wrong because I don't know what was vaulted, but the song as a whole is solid. It's got a great message. I know after all this time I'm gonna make it is a great line in the hook, and the chorus as a whole is solid. I would have liked something a little bit more explosive there, but what's here is definitely it's solid.
I like the fading out beat wise with the drum beat. The repetition of I know after all this time I'm gonna make it is not cool since that's the entire chorus. The overall flow of this song is fine. The verses just don't do much for me though. It seems very chorus reliant, which I don't like very much. I would have the song a lot lower.
Well, comes in at 55. At number 54, we have Heaven, We're Already Here. Another orchestral section opens up the song, and I think the build here is really great. The song takes a long time to get to the chorus because you have two whole verses and a refrain section, but I think they take advantage of that by really building that tension in a pretty perfect manner. However, I don't think the chorus quite holds up the end of the bargain here when it comes in. It's not bad by any means. It is solid and fairly catchy, but this is a fairly strong discography, so for the sake of nitpicking, I just don't think it holds up in comparison to the other songs.
So apparently we're a big orchestra opening the song kind of band. I do like when the band actually comes in since they do add a good amount of pace to the song. I don't know where the chorus is though. I can't tell if the second set of lyrics are a chorus or a verse. Whatever that second part of the song is fairly lackluster. The vocals sound like yelling from the instrumentation being so loud. When they finally say the title line halfway through the song, it slows down the song to extend that note out. Then there's the "What are you living for" part, which is repeated 4 times. The call the call and response vocals with the echoing vocals are also not cool as well. Overall, it's not a bad song.
Then a 54. Coming in at number 53, we've got Flowers on the Grave. It's 9 minutes and 23 seconds. That, my friends, is a long song. It kind of gives magnum opus vibes with that length, is what they were going for, kind of a la Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day. But honestly, for a song that's incredibly long, I think it makes pretty strong use of that runtime. There's a really great flow throughout the beginning of the song with the acoustic guitar, and then the instrumental picks up, and I really get grooving along with the song. The electric guitars come in with the drums, and I just think it all comes together great. The chorus itself is pretty catchy, and I can't help but singing along. It had a pretty good chance to end it at a little after the 3 minute mark, and they opted not to. The bridge is repetitive, and I'm not crazy about the instrumental section that's slowed down. The orchestra is back for this song, but I honestly think it works here. The song is going for magnum opus vibes, like I mentioned, so I feel like adding the orchestra only adds to that feel. However, the orchestral section is a little bit too long for my liking, and that's my main complaint with the song. I feel like if you cut out some of the instrumentation and shortened it to even 6 minutes, it would be a lot higher because I do like what's here. Even the section after the instrumental, I think, is really great. It definitely, again, fits that magnum opus vibe, but it's really hard to make a 9 minute song work. So the fact that this is even this high should be considered an accomplishment.
9 minutes and 23 seconds. Let's see what we got here. There's a nice acoustic feel with some heartfelt vocals in the first verse. The "You don't plan life, you live it" line is a really cool line in the chorus. The chorus does slow the first section of the song down, but I do like the guitar work to bring the second verse in, and glad it's kept throughout out the rest of the song. My main complaint is the speed aspect from the first 2 minutes. There isn't a whole lot going on here to keep my attention. The guitar solo to bring in the third chorus add some much needed speed in the following chorus. Then there's the 3 minute and 30-second instrumental section, which is an interesting choice, which leads to a slower bridge. That's the payoff. Okay. A lot going on, but also also a not needed instrumental section that takes a lot of my enjoy out of this. I agree with you. I think it should be a lot shorter. I don't know that you can put this any higher. I don't know that it should go any lower. but it's just a lot going on with a little payoff.
Yeah. So overall, comes in 53.
On the outside, you are cautious. On the outside,
Coming in at 52, we've got ugly on the inside. I love the lyricism here. Like, you can change all you want on the outside, but on the inside, you fucking suck. Perfect. Love to hear it. Just read the whole lyrics to the song there. Chef's kiss. There's some really nice guitars here, and the song has a nice flow to it. The chorus is pretty catchy as well, though I do wish the song as a whole was ever so slightly faster paced, but an enjoyable listen and definitely better than most of the normal version of Forever Halloween because this once again was a bonus track.
Hey, my favorite album's back. Let's go, boys. We love another entry from my favorite one. Damn, you can really look different, but you're the same shitty person on the inside. Amazing. Gotta love a 4 minute row session. I am all for those. I like the picking behind the vocals in the verses. I would say that they are slightly too loud for me personally, but they are tolerable. This does have the same pacing problem, however. I like how the big band comes in, but they don't add any speed, and the song as a whole is very chorus reliant. Lyrically, the song is fantastic, but musically, it's nothing special.
Oof. All right, long way to go still. I believe in us. We'll get a save here. I'm starting to get a little concerned at this point, but I think we'll get one. So comes in at 52.
growing up won't bring us down. Yeah, growing up.
At 51, we've got Growing Up. The acoustic backing guitars at the start kind of set a false tone for the song. The song starts slow, but then after the first chorus, the rest of the band and the instruments pick up, and there's a huge explosion kind of feel. There's even some piano here. Honestly, it kind of sounds like something you'd hear in a Bruce Springsteen song. I really do like the instrumentation, and I like the story that's told throughout the song as well. You can picture it really well in the verses. Growing Up Won't Bring Us Down is a really nice sentiment as well, but they repeat it a lot in the chorus, and that's my main knock on the song. Still a good song, but it would be higher with a little more variety in that chorus.
I like the acoustic guitar lick in the verses here. Um, the em- the emphasis is on his voice, which sounds good, and I also see the repetition that Brett was referring to that brings my enjoyment of the song down. I like that they add the rest of the band in with some speed in the second verse. Glad to hear that they keep that same speed throughout, but my main complaint is that repetition.
Yeah, but the repetition ultimately is why it's down here, and why it comes in at 51.
Slip my head loose, and now that boy is the story. I used to think I knew better, yeah, I knew better.
Coming in at 50, we've got Slip the Deuce. There's some really nice harmonies that open up the song. The chorus opens up the song, and then some really nice guitars come in and give the verses a really nice flow to them. The pre chorus leads well into the chorus as well, but my main holdback with this song is that the chorus is just okay. It's not bad or anything, but I feel like it's very okay, and it relies a lot on those guitars to really carry the weight. This is another one that is a victim of just me preferring other songs because those guitars truly are fantastic, but it's just beat out by others since the discography is so strong.
Uncomfortably long? Numb? Taylor? Arrows? Is that you? Oh, I like that song way much better. I like the dynamic from slow to big band feel and the faster tempo. This is one of the more pop punk songs I've heard so far. The chorus brings my enjoyment of the song down a good a bit. Since I don't like how they got rid of the pacing from the verses and slowed that song down to emphasis words. I wish they kept the verse speed throughout the entire song. Again, this is another okay one.
Yeah. Overall, since the discography is really strong, it is going to come in here at 50.
You were dancing to your favorite song.
Coming in at number 49, we got Like We Did, Windows Down. They played this one when I saw them live, and I was kind of confused as to why. If you want to pick a Pioneer song to throw it back to, you pick this one, not like My Heroine or something. It's not a bad song, but there's better Pioneer songs. Like the one I mentioned. This is actually the song that they played the most live, which is kind of interesting to me. The first verse is kind of boring, but that chorus comes in and gets me on board again. It is pretty catchy, but the song as a whole is very reliant on it. There's really nothing here in the verses. They just kind of exist to get you back to that chorus. And I don't think the chorus is quite good enough to carry the weight of a 4 minute plus song. The instrumental section near the end is nice though. Those drums are kick ass.
Now, this is another cool guitar line on this album. Man, this album actually kills it on intros, and I think this entire band just kills it on intros. The drumming is slightly too loud behind the vocals in the first verse, though. This is definitely the best chorus I've heard so far. Other than other than the one song I have saved, and it's not even close. Again, the pacing is there after the chorus as well, um, um, and flows well into the chorus, but I can't save it. But this is easily the closest I've been to so far.
Hey, we're getting closer. I'm telling you guys, by the end of this video, we're gonna get at least one. There's no chance we're gonna go over. So comes in at 49. Coming in at 48, we've got Bliss. This is another one where I think the verses are fairly lackluster, but the chorus, for the most part, makes up for it. There's a nice looping guitar in the verses, but they're definitely very okay, and they only serve to get you from chorus to chorus. The chorus is enjoyable for sure, but the main definitely has better. The guitar solo leading into the bridge is a really nice touch. Overall, yet another Forever Halloween bonus track that is significantly better than most of the normal album.
Boys, my favorite album is back. We love the new entry here. The guitar work in the verses are nice. It's a little loud, but the work itself is fine. The chorus is also fine. Doesn't really keep my attention very much, uh, but has heavier guitar, so that's something. If the chorus had speed, I would enjoy the song much more. But this is a very okay song, and honestly, don't have.
So, 48. Going at number 47, we've got Face Towards the Sun. Apparently, this song is about John's grandmother passing away near the start of the Big Row. It also serves as the longest song off of XOXO. Lyrically, it's an absolutely fantastic song about the heartbreaking topic. The guitars that kind of serve as the chorus of the song sound fantastic, but that right there is also the issue. The guitars serve as the chorus of the song. I like the instrumentation, and the fast drums pair perfectly with the guitars and the vocals, but there's just no chorus. Honestly, it's impressive that a song with no chorus even made it up this high, to be honest with you.
The song builds to an instrumental break. Hmm, that's a choice. The pacing is there, and I really like the backing instrumentation before the quote unquote chorus comes in. If the song had an actual chorus, I could see myself saving it. How did this get to 47?
I like the guitar work.
More than the 60 something songs that's below it. That
I don't fucking know. I like it enough to put it at 47, god damn it.
I just find it funny.
So, 47. And that's going to wrap up the good tier. We're going to get on into the great tier. These songs are just a little bit better, so let's get it on.
They're great.
There's nothing I can do now. I'm all fucked up on you. All fucked up on you.
Coming in at 46, we've got Spiraling. This is the closing track to the discography, the final one that I listened to. The verses start really slow, so I thought that from the start that I wasn't going to be huge into this song. But then that chorus comes in. The combination of synths works super well with that catchy bass line and those drums. It's kind of a repetitive chorus, and that combined with the slow verses keep it from getting any higher, but I still do find it enjoyable nonetheless.
I like how they get right into the vocals, not wasting any time. Unfortunately, it is a snooze fest in the first verse. Then they add a funky EDM style backing beat in the second verse. Not a and I don't love the all fucked up on you repetition. I'm guessing in the chorus question mark. It does add some much needed pace and catchiness to the song. This is much more techno heavy than I would like from a main song. I like actual instrumentation around the 2 minute mark. They add, which they add later, but it is back to that same repetition.
So it comes in at 46.
Keep your feelings hidden. It's been carefully locked shut. And the house that you call home feels more like a prison. Say you're happier now, but I figured you out.
Coming in at 45, we had Box and a Heart featuring Ren for short. Brett putting an acoustic song high? Shocking, I know. But I really like this one for some reason. John's voice sounds great over that acoustic guitar. The chorus is honestly really catchy when it rolls around as well. I have no idea who Ren for short is, but she sounds great here also. There's some really nice vocal chemistry there between her and John. This was a song that I was expecting to be right up Sean's alley, and I thought it had really good potential to get saved, but
This was one of the songs that our co-host here was waiting for me to hear. The verdict is an acoustic song with some solid vocals, and these vocals are really strong. You can't look at me in the eye because you know you're lying. Ouch! That's just pretty painful lyricism there. That's a female vocalist. We like that actually. For an acoustic song, it's very catchy. I don't love the repetition of lying at the end of the song to fade the song out though. I gave it a second and even third listen, and it still doesn't quite get to the save tier, but it's close.
all right. It's fine. I'm not upset. Close but no cigar once again. It's fine. We still got 44 more songs. I'm sure we'll get there. I'm not worried about it. I'm lying. I'm a little worried about it. Comes in at 45.
Show me the real. Misunderstood can feel so good. You don't have to hide yourself.
Coming in at 44, we've got Pretender. I love the opening lines to this song. There's always a reason to stay inside your head, but you'll never make it out. I think it's interesting how at a couple points in the verses, the instrumentation just explodes in. The pre-chorus flows really well into that chorus, which comes in and is catchy and has a great message about just being yourself. I don't really have a ton to say on this one, but it is catchy and the guitars are nice, and that's why it's up here.
The guitar lick brings in much needed speed to the song, and the vocals sound great behind it. The drumming and clapping add for a cool backing beat. I don't love the slowdown in the pre-chorus and in the chorus itself when the full band comes in. I think the verses are much stronger than the choruses, and I don't think it's close.
Can't win them all. Comes in at 44. Coming in at 43, we've got Thinking of You. Some piano opens this one up. It's been a long time since we've had that. Glad the piano made a nice return. The song gets to the chorus really quickly, so you get to the main knock on the song rather early. I've been thinking of you is the entire chorus. I like the instrumentation change to those heavier guitars in the final verse, and I really like the instrumentation throughout the song, but that chorus is just too repetitive to get this one up any higher. The phone call at the end does lead really well into Jenny,
Faster songs with piano don't typically align in the same sentence, but this song does, which is pretty neat. This has the same problem as the last song has. The verses are much faster than the choruses when the full band comes in. Plus, the entire chorus is thinking of you, which is just amazing in the creativity department.
though. It is. It was really creative. So overall, comes in at 43. Coming in at 42, we've got Saving Grace. For some reason, I really struggled to come up with concrete comments for this song. This is an overall solid pop punk song. It's a pretty by the numbers song off of Black and White. It's got this exact sound you would expect to come off of that album, which leads to a placement around here. I have no concrete complaints. Everything about the song is solid. Ultimately, just preferred others. But it did move up in my final rankings quite a bit.
Another song I like that the verses come right in without a long intro. There isn't a great payoff with that chorus, though. The beat doesn't really change very much either. Again, it's a good song, but doesn't do anything well enough to save it.
Sure, well, it's fine. That seems to be a common comment, but it's fine. I'm sure we'll get there. We're running out of songs, but it's okay. We'll get there. Comes in at 42. Coming in at 41, we've got Listen to Your Heart. The guitars throughout that first verse are really nice and set a nice tone. This is another one with a nice message about basically, ignoring the haters in the relationship and listening to your heart. I like the chorus here. It's fairly catchy, and the song as a whole has a pretty nice flow to it. Unfortunately, this is just another case of the discography being really strong, so this ends up down here.
This song sounds like a standard pop punk song. Has the short length, which is just too perfect. The guitar behind the vocals is solid when the band comes in. They actually keep said pacing from the first verse. The harmonizing vocals at the end of the chorus are very nice. However, I don't love how everything cuts out so he can say the title line every time. The the song is fairly catchy as well, which helps, but again, nothing really stands out here. Plus, the repetition of Listen to Your Heart at the 1:45 to 2 minute mark is not what I want. However, the guitar solo, though, that is in fact what I want.
So comes in at 41. Coming in at 40, we've got My Hair. The lyrics of the song have always confused me. Is it an entire song about hair? I'm sure there's a deeper meaning to it, but I'm honestly not quite sure what it is. The verses are a tad slower than I would like, but I think that chorus is pretty catchy and it stays in my head. There's a really nice backing guitar throughout the chorus as well, and it's really highlighted in that bridge. There's some piano to bring in that final chorus, which serves as a really nice touch as well. It's a very solid song.
The intro guitars with a cool backing beat has me tapping my foot along here immediately. I actually like the transition to the chorus here too. It's funky and isn't overly quick, but doesn't need to be. The claps between the chorus to the following verse keep the steady beat behind it to the next one. It doesn't fully click, but it is in fact a solid song.
And another one, just not fully clicking, but a lot of time to go. I mean, I'm concerned these have been the same. Doesn't fully click for the last like 20 songs, but it's fine. Maybe the next 20 we'll get one. We'll get one fully click. So it comes in at 40. Coming in at 39, we've got Happy. Easily the best song on the normal version of Forever Halloween. I like that intro to the song. The guitars go really well with the ooze. The verses have a pretty nice flow to them. They lead well into that chorus, and the chorus is easily one of the best on Forever Halloween. And in general, I find it enjoyable and really catchy. Following the second chorus, there's also a really rocking guitar solo. It's one of those happy sounding songs where if you take a second to look at the lyrics, it's actually really sad. But overall, I really like the guitars, and the chorus is pretty catchy, so it gets it up here.
The guitars are nice, but they're just too loud. I think I'm just having a hard time hearing the vocals here. I like the flow from verse to chorus. I don't like the ooze to transition from chorus to verse again. The chorus doesn't add any speed. It just gets louder in the chorus. And instrumentation wise, I think this one has a lot to be desired.
Yeah, well, I like it. Comes in at 39. Coming in number 38, we have Anxiety in Real Time. This should not be this high, objectively speaking, and I expect Sean to disagree with this placement, and I'm perfectly okay with that. But I adore these lyrics. This song is supposedly the quote unquote anticlimax of the album's story before the big finale, whatever that means. That pre chorus is honestly just incredible, and yes, I'm gonna read it all out. Sue me. Now I'm thinking about the things that I should have said, and I'm lit just like the ash of my cigarette. Can't stop thinking about the nights that I still regret, and I know that this is all in my head. Just great lyricism. I even have a T-shirt that I got from when Sean and I saw them at Sad Summer in 2021 that says "This is all in my head" on it. The guitars that bring in the first verse sound fantastic. The chorus is really solid as well. I can't help but sing along. This is definitely a song that you might not expect me to like, but I love these lyrics.
Yeah, the I know this is all in my head thinking about things I should have said lines are really nice, like he was saying. That's a cool guitar interlude to the next verse there. This song is fairly catchy from being a softer instrumentation type song. I don't love the slow down during the choruses before the second half comes in though. The repetition of all of my head does sour my enjoyment of the song, but lyrically this song is great.
Yeah, so big fan of this one. Comes in at 38. Coming in at number 37, we've got Numb Without You. There's an orchestra that opens up the song, which was definitely unexpected. The verses have a really fast pace to them when the song opens. There's some backing piano here as well, but I don't really know how I feel about an orchestra being used in a song by the Maine. It just sounds kind of off to me. The chorus is very solid. It brings back the fully rock instrumentation, and I think that works a lot better. That big explosion near the end of the song with the guitar solo and drums works really well as well, and it hits when they play the song live. The song is definitely very chorus reliant, but that chorus works well enough to get it up here.
I love the strings with that extremely fast drum beat. Then they slow the song down for the chorus? Question mark. There's a really and that's a really interesting dynamic. The first half of the chorus is done with just a guitar, and then the whole band comes in. I wish they kept the verse pace throughout the whole song. There's nothing wrong with it, but it just doesn't fully click.
10, 10 with that. Time, time, more opportunities, chances. Deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. We're not going over. Not going over. Deep breaths. Comes in at 37. Coming in at number 36, we have Miles Away. The fast guitar that opens up the song works really well with that backing drum beat. John's flow in the verses are great here. He rides the beat effortlessly, and the way that he's going really quick in the verses makes the verses really catchy in their own right. But they also flow really well into a chorus that comes in and is fairly catchy. It does slow the song down slightly, and that's probably why it's not my favorite chorus, but I still think it is strong nonetheless. The guitar solo leading into the bridge is really great as well. Well, this definitely isn't the best song that's on American Candy. It definitely does a good job of welcoming you to that world, especially when it's contrasted with the Jury previous world of Forever Halloween.
Of my favorite album.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yours and mine both.
Uh, this is another fast start, and we love to see that. I like how the bass is the focal point instrumentally, and the guitar is quiet, which is cool. This has the same problem as My Hair. When the chorus comes in with the band, it slows the song down tempo wise, but it gets louder. Keeping that same pace it uses during the verses would have kept my attention much more. I prefer the verses in this song as well.
Yeah. So overall, 36. You want me to be? I'm wasted, and I'll make this the anthem for a dying breed. Coming number 35, we got Don't Give Up on Us. The instrumentation that kicks off the song signals catchy right from the start, and that's exactly what you get from this one. There's a nice little beat that carries you through the verses and pre chorus that leads you well into that chorus. It's fairly catchy, though a tad repetitive. The production on this one I also don't think is that great. The instrumentation is a tad loud and kind of drowns out John in the verses. It is still an enjoyable listen, but I'm left wanting a little bit more from this one.
Song with a 31-second instrumental intro got this high. And what was the payoff? Muted vocals and muted instrumentation? Nice. At least there is pacing though. I mean, the pacing of the song is fine. It's quicker, but I don't think it's very catchy. Oh, and and the entire chorus is "Don't give on up." Is "Don't give up on." Cool. Real point for creativity there, guys.
It is creative. Creative, it comes in at 35. Going in at number 34, we've got Lips. Apparently, this song started, quote, even poppier than it is, which is interesting because this is already a very pop leaning song. Not that that's a bad thing, though. This song, structure wise, is kind of in the same vein as Sticky, but I don't think that this chorus is quite on the same level as Sticky's. It's still a very catchy and upbeat pop song, and I really think those backing guitars create a nice backing groove. And don't worry, you will see my thoughts on Sticky. It's just quite a bit later.
Not gonna lie, I instantly wanted to save this song when the guitar came in. The intro and the first verse are really funky and quite catchy. Oh, I didn't know that was the chorus. I was grooving along, waiting for like it actually to lead into something, and the chorus just appears, but it already showed up. I like the second one better since it actually leads into that chorus. This definitely has sticky vibes too, which I didn't read Brett's comments, which obviously makes sense. Which makes sense since it's on the same album. I've listened to the song not a second time, not a third time, like 11 times to get it to click. Again, just doesn't hit as well as Sticky does and has not got itself into the same.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. I'm not upset. Not at all. Nope. I got have you heard that Lips on the 12th listen? It just something clicks in your brain and it just hits. I've heard that. Comment section. Have you heard that? Coming in number 33, we've got How to Exit a Room. I really love those drums that welcome in the song. The first verse in general does a great job of bringing in the song. John's vocals sound great, and I really love how it's really fast paced. It flows really well. I am a fan of this chorus as well, but I do just wish that it was a tad bit faster. Obviously, this song is still pretty high, so it's not a big complaint, but I'm nitpicking to separate these songs at this point. I think the bridge in the song is absolutely phenomenal. Honestly, might be the best one in the discography. It slows the song down ever so slightly, but it does a really great job of building up the tension for the end of the song.
I've definitely heard this song before in Brett's car or something. The title of the song definitely sounds familiar. I do like the muted guitars and the soft drums in the introduction here. It is pretty catchy. The chorus is solid here as well. Another solid song, but doesn't fully click for me.
And again with that, we're running out of songs here, man. Gonna need one to fully click at some point. I'd exit a room, 33. And that's gonna wrap up the great tier. We're gonna get on into the just shy tier. These songs are just missing a little bit of something to get them on it, but into that top tier. So let's get it on. At number 31, we've got Color. This song gives me Goo Goo Dolls vibes for some reason. Maybe it's the because you can let it slide line. The chorus is pretty catchy though, and that's why the song ended up all the way up here. High key, I did not realize going into this video that I liked Black and White this much. I like the bridge here a lot as well, and the guitar solo after it is a really nice touch that adds to the song. Overall, it's a very solid song that keeps my head bobbing all throughout. The only complaint I have is there's an instrumental section at the end that I don't think is completely needed, but I don't mind it because, like I said, I do like that guitar riff and I don't think it's too long. It also leads to a fade out, and I love me a good fade out.
I 100% see the slide comparison. If you listen to that song and this song, it sounds pretty identical, just with a slightly different riff and a different singer, obviously. I like how quick the first verse is, but the chorus is the same pacing. It doesn't really wow me very much. The verses and choruses sound exactly identical without the bridge. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two of them. The bridge is more aggressive, which is an interesting choice. I do, however, like the guitar solo bringing in that last chorus, but the lack of pace change is the whole back for me.
Yeah. So comes in at 31.
Every single breath I was singing every line. For every beating chest I will give my bleeding heart. I swear to every god I feel everything tonight with you. When you're
Coming in at 30, we've got I Feel It All Over. The song opens up being really catchy from the start. That section of the song is actually the pre-chorus, but it's so catchy that it honestly feels more like a chorus to me. And then the actual chorus comes in, and I think it's really catchy in its own right. The verses are very okay, but I really like the backing instrumentation here, and there's a lot of really catchy elements to the song. The bridge kind of drags, but then the chorus comes back in, and once again, I'm on board. I wish it was a more complete song and that would get it a little bit higher on the list, but there's a lot to like here.
It sounds like the singer is harmonizing with himself, even though it's not happening, which actually sounds pretty good. I don't love the backing "Feel It All Over" throughout the verses, though. Plus, the almost faded out singing is not what I'm looking for. When the actual chorus comes in, it's solid and welcome. It's not overly fast or catchy, but releases some of the tension. The repetition of "Feel It All Over" crushes some of the likeness of the song. I would personally have this one lower. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it right now, I feel like I maybe should have put this a little bit lower, like below the last two songs that we just talked about at least. But, it is what it is at this point. So, comes in at 30. Coming in at number 29, we've got Don't Stop Now. This is the opening track off of Black and White, and just based on the off of the guitars that open up the song, you can tell instantly that the production here is miles better than Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I like the structure of this song a lot, especially in the chorus. The second half of the chorus kind of switches up the backing guitars, and the notes that John hits on the I'm All Yours are fantastic. The instrumentation throughout the song is really impressive, especially the guitar work. Overall, it's a fairly catchy song that represents a very sizable improvement over anything off of Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
I didn't play this because I was an idiot and didn't realize, but it would have made way more sense with the comments that I have. But that is a really good guitar riff in the beginning. It sounds Bon Jovi esque, which is really cool. This sounds more like a musically polished song, which is awesome. I think the chorus is also really solid. The backing guitars in this song just rock. The verses are no slouch either. They guide the song along really well. The flow works here. Again, I don't like enough to save it, but it is on the right track.
I'm getting real tired of this. I like it. I like it a lot, but not quite enough to save it. So we're running out of time to get this right track to being a full, complete save. So you want to fix that? That'd be nice. He comes in at 29. Coming in at number 28, we've got Fuel to the Fire. This is another song with great guitars. I feel like I'm saying that a lot in this video, but it's just true. The end of the first verse leads really well into the chorus that I definitely think is one of the better early ones. The guitar sections throughout the second verse are great as well, and this song really has my head bobbing all throughout. It's not a very complex song, but it is an enjoyable one for sure. It's just a pretty basic by the numbers pop punk song, but I like pretty basic by the numbers pop punk songs, so gets it this high.
Did someone say some more great guitar work? Yes, please. I want more of that. This chorus is as basic as it gets. Louder instrumentation with no speed change. Just on the basicness alone, I would put this one higher. Or sorry, put this one lower. But the guitar work here is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty basic, but like I said, a basic pop punk song to me, I still like that's something that I still do enjoy, and I think this chorus is still, while basic, still pretty catchy. So comes in at 28. Coming in at number 27, we gotta think about you all the time. The song opens up with some nice guitars, and I appreciate how we're back to more upbeat songs compared to the last song that's on this album. The pre chorus is interestingly structured. It's only 2 lines, but it is fairly drawn out. But I do think it works well. It brings in the chorus and, it just keeps the song moving. The chorus here is really catchy, and that's why the song gets this high. It comes in, and I just can't help but sing along. I didn't expect to put this song this high, but here we are. Catchiness won me over, and this is another one that I thought had potential for Sean to save.
Why does the song sound like Everybody Talks by Neon Trees with that intro? I really hate that song, so that really put a sour on this song to begin with. But back to the actual song and the rest of it. This actually has a really nice guitar lead into it. The pacing in the first verse honestly does really work here, and I honestly like the backing vocals behind the main ones here as well. The chorus also delivers. I don't like the moaning at the end of each of the lines in the choruses though, but the fade out with the title line works really well. The second verse keeps up that same pacing, which we love to see, but another one I don't have saved, but I can see why it's this high.
It's fine. It's fine. Actually, I love Everybody Talks About Neon Trees. I don't, so I don't see what you're talking about. It's not in my head, but I do love that song. And I am totally not getting aggravated by the fact that every single one is close but no cigar. Not at all. So comes in at 27.
We were only two strong souls all tangled in the wind. And in the backseat, when you asked me, is the sadness everlasting? I pulled you closer, looked at you and said, love, I think it.
Coming in at 26, we've got Taxi. The song opens up with the chorus, which is something that the Maine doesn't do all that often. There's some nice backing guitars throughout the song, and the chorus is really catchy. Every time it comes around, you really never get tired of it. The post chorus also works really well here, and I love the You'll Never Be Lonely, which ties back to the title of the album, Lovely Little Lonely. Jared, who's the band's guitarist, gave a great quote about the structure of the song, which is the structure of this song is what I really love. It has these really big choruses that drop into these little sound beds. Those moments eventually swell into a loud and emotional guitar solo in the bridge. I like songs with big payoffs like that. And his description, which I just finished reading, by the way, this is back to me talking. His description, I think, sums up the song, the end of the song, really well. It's a very enjoyable listen all throughout. Honestly, I thought Sean already had this song saved going in. If he, considering he didn't, I was wrong. I would have thought that this would have been another one that had a lot of potential.
Yeah, the opening sounds familiar. I've definitely heard this song on something. I think we probably played the song game or something. But an acoustic song in the 20s. Brett, are you okay? I thought we were like for like more faster things. This is more of like my speed. I do love the contrast between the acoustic guitar and the clean backing electric guitar here. It works really well. Then the band comes in and runs with that pacing, which is great. I love the transitions in this song as well. It flows effortlessly. That's a really nice guitar solo that leads really well into the final chorus. To put a bow on this one, nice.
I could have sworn you had this song saved at one point.
I may have at one point, but I don't. So.
I mean, I know that now, but I'm 90% sure at one point in time you did have the song saved. So overall, it comes in at 26. Coming in at number 25, we have So Criminal. I bet you didn't see this one coming. It is so criminal how this is on the deluxe version and not the normal version. Ha!
Ha
Get it?
ha.
right from the jump, I love the pacing of the instrumentation. The verses have a really nice flow to them, even though the backing instruments mostly cut out. The pre-chorus builds the tension really well, and I think that chorus just roars its way in. It's catchy, and I really like John's harsher vocals here. I think they're really conveying the emotion that he's trying to convey in the song. It kind of reminds me of "Hateful" by Post Malone. Check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. It's an absolute banger. But just a little bit of a spoiler alert, Sean did not like that song, but I was a big fan of it. And since this song reminds me of that song, I'm expecting a very similar result here. This was one that I never expected Sean to like.
Hey, my favorite album, boys. We back. I missed you. In the 20s? Guys, we are killing it. Heavy instrumentation from the start, then the guitars fade out now to put emphasis on the vocals. Nice. I don't like the O's in the pre-chorus, and then there's the yelling chorus. Fun fact: do not like people yelling at me. Christina! Can you go away? I don't know who you are, but can you not need to yell at me? You actually don't need to yell at me. You can use an inside voice. The other the other 103 songs use an inside voice. Why is this one any different? No yelling.
So I was, in fact, correct. I know your music taste well enough to know that you did not like this song.
No yelling.
No yelling. Yeah. But I enjoy it. I don't think it, it's not yelling. It's just singing very loudly. And overall, the song comes in at 25. Coming in at 24, we've got Some Days. This is another one that opens with some really funky guitars. This song is really chorus reliant, but I think the chorus works really well. It's a little bit of a harder chorus, but it remains catchy, and I do enjoy it. The backing guitars throughout the verses keep me invested during those parts of the song, and then, like I mentioned, the chorus here kind of speaks for itself. There's another really nice guitar solo in here, which I really think is a great touch. I wish they didn't slow it completely back down after the guitar solo, but overall, it is definitely still an enjoyable listen.
I honestly love the guitar work with this band in general. Please keep it up, and they do the entire time, other than some of the slower ballads that they have. It sounds great. Love the funky guitars there. And the drums do a great job keeping me engaged when the vocals come in for the first time. The pre-chorus is a little bit to be desired, though, but the chorus is really aggressive and very title line reliant and extending words reliant. I too wish I could throw some days away, though. Honestly, so like I feel you with the title line. The transition in guitar work is really great here. I like the verses enough where I'm engaged, but I want more from the choruses. It's just louder and more aggressive. It's personally not my thing, but I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I know Sean likes it a little bit more than Christina, so it
Yeah.
comes in at 24. At number 23, we got High Forever. John describes this song as the most experimental song off of XOXO, and while I know it might not be everybody's cup of tea, I honestly find myself really enjoying it. Those drums are really heavy and they sound great. There's a little distorted synth going on in the background that I like, and I think those guitars create a really nice rhythm. The verses lead perfectly into the chorus, where a holy mother of bass comes in, and I really think it works. My head keeps bobbing throughout the whole song. The chorus comes in, and like I mentioned, I think it's really catchy. I can't help but sing along, and this one gets stuck in my head pretty often, to be honest. It's definitely a little different, and I can understand if people aren't a fan, but personally, for me, I think this was a risk that worked out. I'm a fan of it.
Is that a guitar riff with a beat drop? Yes, it is. I feel like this is a mix between EDM and rock, and I don't really know how I feel about it. The first 15 seconds are more rock, then a beat drop comes in with no instrumentation, then instruments come back in. I'm just confused what they're going for here. I didn't I didn't realize Marshmallow slash Skrillex and the Maine were meeting today. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was on the cards. But the chorus is fine. I don't think it's overly catchy, but the basic rap esque beat beat behind the vocals in the second verse aren't bad. Again, I wouldn't say it's bad. It's not my thing. It's caught me very off guard.
Yeah, like I said, this is a song that definitely isn't everybody's cup of tea, but it works for me, and it comes in at 23. Number 22, we have Thoughts I Have While Lying in Bed. This one really highlights John's vocals at the beginning, and they honestly sound great. The verses are very okay, but the pre-chorus and chorus are both absolutely fantastic to make up for it. They work so well together and really keep the song's catchy factor up. And there's a really nice guitar solo in here as well. Some of the more recent albums have been lacking those, so it's nice to see one return. This is another self-titled song that I wasn't expecting to have so high, but the chorus came around and it just won me over. This was another one that I thought had potential for Sean to save. And is that a fade out from 2023? Love me a fade out.
I do agree with Brett. I like the vocals do sound great and great in the beginning. I like the choice of a soft drum so that the vocals can shine. Then they speed up the rest of the song throughout. Then they speed the drum up throughout the rest of the verse and that first chorus. I love to see that. I honestly can't tell the difference between the verses and the chorus since they all sound similar. Having the same pacing, which is great considering one is slower than another. This sounds fairly basic musically, other than the guitar solo before the last chorus. It does make up for it with catchiness and speed. It's fine. I mean, it's fine.
Endorsement. It's fine. So, comes in at 22. Number 21, we got My Best Habit. There's a great guitar line throughout the verses, and it gives them a really great flow. The pre-chorus here is very strong as well. It also has a great flow and leads really well into that chorus that I think is the star of the show. It's really catchy and stays in my head. The verses honestly really hold up their end of the bargain as well, though, with those guitars. The bridge is a nice change of pace which slows down the song before that chorus comes in with those nice harmonies. I just think it's an overall great song. It doesn't let up throughout, and I can't get enough of it. This is one that I definitely don't come back to enough, and I should revisit more often.
I like the backing beat in the verses here to bring up some catchy speed. I think the verses are fairly weak compared to the pre-chorus and the chorus of the song. The lead into the chorus might be one of the best in the discography, and the chorus is no slouch either. But on the antithesis of that, I think the verses are very lackluster. I like the slowdown during the bridge to let the vocals shine, which leads into the final chorus to finish the song well. But again, I think those verses hold it back for me personally.
Yeah, so overall, comes in at 21. Coming in at number 20, we got Blame. It's easy to see why this was a single choice. It just fits the bill as a single. It opens up with some nice drums and a really fast-paced verse. John's going so fast he's almost rapping, and I think it sounds fantastic. The pre-chorus to chorus relationship here is great, and that chorus is just so catchy. It's got a great groove and serves as a nice contrast to the verses to really create a nice atmosphere for the song. This is another really great bridge from the Maine. It really allows John to show off his vocal talent while building the tension for that final chorus. The song overall was definitely a nice welcome to the self-titled era and one that I thought would have potential for Sean to save.
That is a fast-paced opening verse. I love to see that. I don't like the slowdown. I don't really think it works here. At the same time, I think the verses are just so quick that they sound extremely wordy. They sound like it's the end of the world as we know it. Whoever the hell wrote that song,
REM.
sure, I believe you. But But the slowdown during the second chorus sounds better to my ear. It could be the instrumentals are better. The almost faded out vocals in the bridge are also really nice as a change. The final chorus is all right. It's overall not bad. The biggest holdback for me is just those is the verses are just way too wordy for me.
All right. Well, I'm not concerned that we're now in the 20s and haven't gotten a save yet. Not worried at all. Not one bit. I'm only crying. And this comes in at 20.
Do you remember? Days we were golden, we were surrender, letting go. Focus on something, from some pretenders. We said forever, forever ago.
Coming in at number 19, we have Do You Remember? The other half. I hate to break it to you boys, but 23 is an odd number. So half of it's 11 and a half. Not a whole number. Shitty jokes aside, the instruments that open this one up are fairly badass. The verses have a great flow to them, and they lead really well into that chorus, which is really catchy and works really well with the backing guitars. I really like how the pace of this song is quick all throughout, having a small break in the middle for the bridge to catch your breath. It's just a really upbeat and catchy jam that I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, I don't think 23 can be divided equally. Equally, I could be wrong, but I did in fact Google it, and it is in fact 11 and a half. So that is actually not a whole number. Musically, though, this sounds fantastic. The quick guitars with the cool drums behind it work really well. Sonically, the flow is quite catchy. The repetition of the title line does take some of my enjoyment out of the song. With a guitar solo, although I wish it was a longer one, but it's okay. Without the repetition, I could definitely see myself saving it, but with the repetition and listening to it
Fucking damn it! Save one already! I'm losing my mind over here. Ugh. Coming in at 18, we've got Inside of You. I want it all. I want it all inside of you. Is a line that is used in this song. So, how about those drums in the first verse? But for real, the lyrics to the song are kind of questionable. But if you ignore it,
Kind
which you
of.
should, because I don't think
Kind of questionable.
kind of questionable. But if you ignore it, which I think you should, because I don't think that's what was intended, the song is really catchy. The chorus really keeps me jamming hard all throughout. It is chorus reliant, but I'm okay with it when it rocks this hard. There's a section that's almost like screaming, but not quite, and honestly, I think it works fairly well, which is not expected. The bridge slows it down for a split second for you to catch your breath, and then you're right back to that fast paced chorus with those harder vocals again. I think it's an enjoyable listen for sure, but yeah, the lyrics are definitely a little questionable.
Those backing drums are pretty sweet. The double snare hit is really impressive. Are those screaming vocals? I thought we were past that, guys. I actually like singing, not yelling. Oh, I want to get it inside of you. Oh, huh. That could mean many things, Phyllis. Outside of the cringy lyrics, I think the song musically is pretty solid. The instrumentation is solid. I like the pacing here. I don't think it's catchy enough for me, especially not to get over those cringy lyrics.
Yeah, I kind of ignored the lyrics when I placed it. But this song will get inside of you. Coming in at number 18. Coming in at 17, we've got Am I Pretty? Love a song about inner insecurities. You Think I'm Ugly is an interesting line to open a song for sure, especially contrasted with that more upbeat instrumentation. The verses are solid and have a nice flow to them, but the clear star of the show here is that chorus. It's just so catchy. The bridge is really interesting with the harmonies and the choir. Lyrically, it's nice, but sonically, I don't know how I feel about it. However, this chorus is just so damn catchy that it ends up here. This is their second most played song live, and it's pretty easy to see why. It's a great, catchy song.
Hey, I know this song. I like this song. It's been a while since since there was a song that I had saved. Talk about an opening riff, a banger here. The first verse leads effortlessly into that chorus, which rocks and explodes all of that tension. I love that second verse as well. I think the call and response works really well, and the verses in general are short enough to get me to that fantastic chorus. Uh, the one thing that grew on me was the talking bridge, though. I didn't love that at first. Hearing the lyrics, it makes sense why it's there, and I do.
So we have one saved. That doesn't count, but or something, right?
If you really want to count it, go ahead.
I do, but I don't think it counts.
It doesn't count.
It
doesn't count. It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. I know. But it's fine. I'm fine. And this will come in at 17. At 16, you've got time. I think this song is a super underrated one. I never hear anybody talking about it. The instrumentals that open up the song are really cool and keep me bobbing my head along right from the start. The verses have some nice funky backing guitars and they lead really well into a catchy chorus. It's not very complex and it is a tad repetitive, but it is catchy and for me that's what really matters. I like the ticking clock here as well. It fits well considering the song is called Time. It keeps my head bobbing and it's an easy one to sing along to, and be sure to check this one out if you haven't heard it.
Those guitars sound really off key to me in the beginning for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Like they honestly hurt my ears. I like the bass being the vocal point during the verses. Musically, definitely different, which is cool. It has some pacing to it as well, which is good. I literally shook my head when the chorus came in because I wanted so much more from it. The vocals are really hard to see, are hard to hear from the loud guitar work. The pacing is kept during the verses, is kept during the choruses, but doesn't pack that punch that I'm looking for. Uh, Plus, the repetition of time to figure this out is not what I'm looking for. I like the guitar interlude into the quicker bridge. This is a very title reliant song that has some good elements to it, though.
No, you're definitely right. It is title reliant, but I think that chorus is just catchy enough to make up for it. So overall, it comes in at 16. And that's going to wrap up the Just Shy tier. We're going to get on into the top 15, the top tier, the top songs that the Maine has to offer. And hopefully we'll get a save because I'm getting a little concerned by the fact that we don't have one yet. Really not trying to go over. Haven't done that yet and don't want to start now. So let's get on. Coming in at number 15, we've got Leaving 5. This has been the biggest riser for me since the self-titled album came out. The song that I instantly gravitated towards is still higher. I'm not going to say what song it is, but you can figure it out from the fact that it's the only self-titled song that we haven't covered yet. Even though this song couldn't quite pass that one, it's still fantastic. The groove right from the start has me bobbing along. There's a phenomenal bass line here. This pre-chorus might be the best one in the discography. It remains incredibly catchy while building tension really well and leading seamlessly into the chorus. And the chorus comes in and it's just wormed its way into my brain and never left. And that's what got it really rising up the list. It's just so catchy. There's also a really nice guitar section leading into that chorus. If this one didn't click for you originally, I beg of you, give it another listen. It's just an absolute earworm with a great groove. This is the lowest place song that I have in my favorites playlist, so that does mean that all the top tier is in that favorites playlist for me, and this is one that I definitely thought had a good shot at getting saved from Sean.
When the vocals came in, I immediately raised my eyebrows. I love that backing beat. Easy to see why this is in top tier from the backing beat alone. I like the emphasis from a guitar perspective on on every other beat. It sounds really nice. I just think the chorus is too short. I would have liked something a little bit longer. The guitar solo sounds almost looped or EDM style, which I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe with more listens, but not with two. It is a really catchy song, and I understand why it is up here. but just something stopping me from saving it.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset. I was really confident in this one too, honestly. So I'm a little disappointed, and I'm getting very, very, very concerned that the dreaded thing might happen. So comes in at 15. Coming in at 14, you got the sound of reverie. The acoustic guitars that open up the song are definitely a different sound than the rest of Lovely Level Lonely. But once the rest of the instrumentation picks up in the song, it definitely fits. The verses flow really well into that pre-chorus, and then the chorus is easily the highlight of the song. The instrumentation picks up, like I mentioned, and it's just really catchy. The electric guitars in the bridge leading into the spoken part sound fantastic. Honestly, when listening to this video, I forgot just how much I enjoyed this song. I haven't heard it in forever, and it was an absolute pleasure to return to it. It moved up even more in my final rankings, and it ended up getting added into my favorites playlist. I love this song.
I like the acoustic guitar with the techno drum beat in the verse slash the intro. There's a clear paradox here from the verse to chorus, which is awesome, and I like how the song evolves as it goes on. The verses are quieter, and then it gets faster and more aggressive when we get into the chorus, which is great. I think the song flow. I'm sorry. I think this song's flow might be the best in the whole discography, especially from the ones I haven't heard so far. The talking bridge is a little strange, and then the vocals come back in to lead into the final chorus, which got my attention. This is a really solid song. Dude, when I tell you I tried like 6 times. I tried. Like this one was like easily the closest. Easily.
Oh, no, so close. So fucking close. That is so unfortunate. Comes in at 14. So we finished recording this video, and Sean has a little update for y'all regarding this song. Sean, you wanna go ahead?
Yeah, so I saved it. I was like, I'll just give it one last college try and see what happens. I played all of the ones that you just heard, or all of the ones that I was on the fence about one more time. And this one finally clicked.
Yes, so we did not go over. I'm so excited. We literally had an outro. Like, the video was 100% done other than edited. So we're about to go re-record this outro because I just bitched about going over. And now we're not over. Let's go, baby. We got one. So that's your little sound of reverie update. And we will continue on with the rest of the video as planned.
Yes, we all have the question, but we don't know what the answer is. Oh, the brain is a funny place.
Coming in at 13, we've got Diet Soda Society. I just love the way that this song opens. The acoustic guitar backing sounds like a nice, happy, and upbeat song, and then it just opens with, to be honest, I'm full of shit, but that's alright because everyone else that I know is. I just love those lyrics, and I think the curse word is perfectly placed. The instruments roar up and perfectly to the instruments roar up perfectly to lead you into the chorus, which again has some great lyrics. She told me, just shut up and drink your diet soda. Like, what? I love it. Not to mention, it's just super catchy. There's a great guitar solo, and we're right back into that catchy chorus. I like the outro a lot here as well. There's some lyric changes without changing the pacing of the song, and I think it works really well overall.
Hey, I like diet soda. I want to be part of the Diet Soda Society. Is that whistling to bring in the song? Yes. Yes, it is. See, this song is the opposite. I don't know how I feel about the flow of this song as much as I like the last song. I like the second verse is faster, more basic with instrumentation, but it is faster. I like how they slow the song down slightly to let the lyrics actually flow off the tongue. Is the hook "Shut up and drink your diet soda"? Yeah, yeah, it is. I'm not too sure how I feel about that, but musically the song isn't bad. I personally would have the song lower. I think the song below it and the song below that one is way better.
See, to be a part of the Diet Soda Society, you have to save the song. So is that a trade-off that you're willing to take?
Oh no, no.
Well, it was worth a shot, boys. But yeah, I can see your point. There's a lot of this top tier. I'll probably say it at one other point. Got the order got flipped around a lot. So like at one point, this was lower than both of the songs below it. Right now, it's ended up higher. So came in at 13. Coming in at number 12, we've got American Candy. This is the title track of one of the band's best albums. Not my personal favorite, that's a little lonely, as I'm sure you can tell, but a great one nonetheless. Right from the opening of this song, you get a vibe that this is not going to be a super upbeat song, and that's totally fine. The verses are kind of subdued, but I think they work really well. John has a nice flow, and it flows really well into that big explosion of instrumentation in the chorus. I can't say that it's exactly super catchy, and I can't really explain it, but it just kind of clicks in my brain, and I think it sounds really great. But in my opinion, the entire song is just a build to the bridge, which is easily the highlight, in my opinion. I love the outro in general, and that extra line they tag on at the end of the last chorus. Oh, it'll rot your teeth until your gums they bleed. That's my favorite line in the whole song. This song as a whole isn't one that fits the typical Brett formula. It's honestly not all that catchy, but I can't really explain why. It just works in my brain, and that's why it's as high as it is. I did not expect Sean to like this one at all.
I can't tell if that it's a guitar or a bass behind the drumming in the beginning, but the drumming is solid, and I like the speed in the beginning. I don't love the call and response chorus. It's almost singing for half of it, and then the other half is backing vocals. I like the second verse. Sorry, I like that the second verse has more guitar elements in the background. The chorus is just louder, not faster. Again, I'm not really sure how this one got so high. I don't think it's very catchy. I was very confused how this one got so high. It's not typically your style, but
Yeah, I can't really explain it. It just works in my head. Everybody has those songs that like
they
it
work.
doesn't
Yeah.
fit the typical formula that it just works. I can't put it to words. It just works. So coming in at 12. Coming in at 11, we got My Heroine. This is the song that Sean showed me. The first song by the band that I really latched onto. While it has been passed by others, this song still fucking rocks, and I wish that they would play it live more. The guitars that open the song are really badass. I think the fact that the song has a double meaning of talking about a girl and talking about the drug is really cool as well. The verse rocks really hard, and combined with the pre-chorus, there's a great build to a chorus that really explodes its way in and just remains incredibly catchy. There's a great guitar solo here as well. Especially since Sean is more musically inclined, I can see why this is one that he really likes. The musicianship in this song is really incredible. I don't love the bridge, but overall, I think that this is a fantastic song, and the transition is nice with the ticking clock leading into time.
Hey, I know this song. It fucking slaps. This was the one song that I was like, where did you slander this song? Slander mix slandering sin with slander sauce. But thank you for the credit. Thank you for the credit. Like I would say that it was all me, but it was not all me. My buddy actually showed me this song in middle school. It feels like forever ago now. Oh, we used to play this song together in person. He played the drum part, and I played the guitar part. The same guy was the person that showed me Angels and Airwaves. So if you haven't checked out that video, please be sure to do that. So as you can probably tell, I have a soft spot for the guitar part in this song. I think this is the best guitar work in the whole discography, and I don't think it's close. That guitar solo is fucking chef's kiss with the dot dot dots in the bridge. From a flow perspective, the song is incredible. The chorus rocks. It is incredibly fast, but I don't think it needs to be. It does exactly what it needs to do. Slander that this isn't higher. Slander with a slander side of slander sauce wrapped in slander bacon. Yeah.
Okay. It's still really fucking high. Comes in at 11.
Escape emotion, now by the way. Save your tears for something worth crying over, baby. Don't waste them on misfortune, darling, break away. To a place they won't cry, baby, they won't.
At 10, we got Tears Won't Cry, Shinju. I think the song is so incredibly underrated. Shinju apparently means double suicide in Japanese, for those wondering. Like a lover's double suicide. So, fun fact of the day for you. The song opens up really well with some nice guitars. John has a nice flow in the verses. They lead really well into the pre chorus, which slows down the song and really gives it a second to build the tension before that chorus just roars its way in. And wow, does it roar its way in! It's just so incredibly catchy, and I can never get it out of my head. It goes so great with the guitars that come in after. I just bob my head along all throughout the entire song. The bridge has some fantastic guitars in it as well. This is one that definitely deserves to be shown more love. I really think it deserves it. It's a fantastic song and a great way to kick off our top 10.
That's definitely meaning for you. I wouldn't expect that from a Maine song, but who knows? For some reason, the vocals bother me like a lot. Like they sound not muted, but they also don't sound on key either. I like I like the verses from a musical perspective, but the verses vocals just hurt my ears. Glad they go to actual vocals throughout the pre-chorus and the chorus. The chorus itself is solid, but why are those vocals back? I was enjoying the song. I don't know why, but I just can't enjoy those verses or the vocals from the verses. The chorus releases the tension from the pre-chorus, which is honestly really lackluster. But the chorus is the only saving grace in this song.
I can see your point, I think this chorus is absolutely incredible, and I think it allows the song to really rise up above a lot of the rest of them and ultimately get this high. So yeah, comes in 10.
Over and over, oh what a lovely view of you. A two-step into disorder. I stumble forward, toss something so brand new, and I feel alright. Yeah, I feel
Moving in at number 9, we've got Dose number 2. I instantly gravitated towards this song from the second the Maine dropped the self-titled track. It's the first track and just an absolutely fantastic start to the album. It starts kind of slow, and then the claps come in, and everything picks up, and it just sounds so great, especially those verses. John's flow in the verses is incredible. He rides the groove almost effortlessly, and it sounds fantastic. That chorus comes in, and it continues the ride, and it's just incredibly catchy. I really can't help but sing along and bob my head along to the beat. It almost makes me want to get up and dance, and that's just the vibe of the song. I'm kind of surprised that this song wasn't a single because it's so upbeat and catchy, but it really starts off the album with a bang. And this was the song that I said to Sean going in, like, this is the one that I think you're going to really, really like.
Like I was saying, so he told me this probably I was like halfway through at this point, so I was at like song like 50, and he was like this is the one, this has to be the one. So this was the song that we've all been waiting for, folks. Let's see what happens. We gotta wait for a wild ride here. This song is the highest potential for a save, but will we get there? Tune in for that wild ride. I can't help but bob my head along to the cool instrumentation before the verses come in. Love the pacing here. Works with the vocals effortlessly. I like the emphasis on the guitar during the choruses. The flow from verse to chorus is pretty effortless. The entire song is seamless without a lack of something going on. It's a great song, but not quite there.
I'm just so disappointed when I saw that. I really thought that that one was going to be the one to get there because it's so similar, in my opinion, to a different song. that we haven't gotten to yet, which is why I've get kind of like this section of the list 10, 9, 8, 7, and 7. I flipped the order of so many times. I literally, while recording, just flipped the order again. And this song I think is really similar to a song I have a couple spots higher that Sean really likes. So I thought that this was going to be the one. It was going to be the one. But yet, we are in the top 10 and still over. And you have a good chunk of the songs that are left coming up saved. So I think we're staring it over down the barrel, and that's a problem. So overall, comes in at 9. Coming in at number 8, we've got English Girls, Mother of Catchy. That's what the song is going for, and holy cow, does it hit the mark. You can tell from that opening note that this one is going to be a fun ride. I love those opening guitars, and the whole instrumental section honestly kicks the song off so well. I think the slowdown in the verses, being a little slower, actually works in the song's favor here because John really paints a great picture with those lyrics. And then those guitars come in to transition you to the chorus, and I'm just blown away. It's just so incredibly catchy and continues to tell the story between the guy and the girl at a bar. This one just works so well for me, always has since first listen, and continues to do so to this day. Extremely catchy, and honestly, the storyline's kind of interesting. Yes, please.
A nice instrumental section here. I love the fade out to bring the vocals in for the first verse. The flow into the chorus is great, and so is that chorus. It works honestly really well. That's a sliding guitar, I believe, and the backing guitar. That sounds so interesting. If my ears are correct, they fun fact are I googled it. The song is catchy as well, and who doesn't love English Girls Just Like Sex? I couldn't believe it. Nice, we love that sentiment, man. I should love this song from how catchy it is, but again, I can't say that.
Yeah, this was another one that I thought had potential, so I'm a little bit disappointed that it didn't get there. So that's fine. I'm only crying because I think you already have, let's see, one, two, three, three of the songs that are left to go. So I'm not liking my chances, and I think we're looking. Okay. There's still a chance. There's still a chance. These are my favorite songs coming up. So maybe we can still salvage. We can avoid the offer, and we can get one. But English Girls comes at 8. Coming in at number 7, we've got Dirty Pretty Beautiful. Apparently, John describes this song as the most pop the Maine has ever gone. If that's the case, sign me up for more of the Maine Gone pop because this song is incredible. From first listen of XOXO, this was the instant standout deep cut for me. There's some fantastic guitars that bring in that first verse, where there's some great backing guitars to go with that catchy drum beat. I love the slowdown to build at the end of this to build the tension that's all just released so perfectly and effortlessly, and that explosion of a chorus which just comes in and is so incredibly catchy. There's a good reason that the fan base has really latched onto this song. It's because it's just such a bop, incredibly catchy at every turn, and I really can't stop grooving along. Absolutely fantastic. And honestly, while we were recording this list, I remember I talked about 7, 8, 9, 10 all being really close. This was like 9 going into our recording, and I moved it up because it's just incredible.
So when I was going through the whole discography, originally when he sent me the list, I thought that I had this one saved, but I guess not. But I saved it before listening to the whole discography. But Brett showed me the song prior to this, so if you want to count it as a save, you can count it. But I don't know that I count it. The intro guitars here are fantastic. I honestly like the muted higher vocals with the muted guitar because of how amazing that chorus is. That chorus is the best in the discography. Sorry, not sorry. I have my opinion. you could disagree with it, but I don't care. I just love it so much. The funkiness of it, the way he says the title line just works in my head so well. It's beyond catchy. I can't get that chorus out of my head. I wasn't gonna finish the ranking the day I did this, mind you. I did 84 of these songs in a day. I wasn't going to finish it, but I was like, I need to get to this song so I could finish it, so I could talk about it. I love this song that much. This song is incredible. It is indeed my new favorite Maine song. Still love you, my heroine. We always love our first. But there's a new cat.
Dirty Pretty Beautiful, baby. Fantastic song. Yeah, when you said you didn't have to save it, I was like, what? So, just an absolutely great song. Comes in at 7. Coming in at 6, we've got Sticky. I said English Girls was mother of catchy. Then what's this? Like the king ruler of the universe of catchy or something? Lyrically, the song is about a person or a feeling that you can't shake. It's just stuck in your head, like this song is, because holy shit, did I mention that it's catchy. John's vocals in the verse are nice. There's a solid Sweet Caroline reference and even a nice backing tambourine going on. Then the song builds in the pre chorus, and then the chorus comes in. And yes, this song is indeed sticky in my head because that chorus is incredible. It's just so upbeat and catchy. I love the second verse, and I finally found those letters lost under my tongue, which is a reference to the ever so lovely Black Butterflies and Deja Vu, which, if you haven't realized, we haven't talked about yet. But it should be a shock to absolutely nobody seeing this song high. It's incredible, and I think it works in just about every setting because it's so damn catchy.
Yeah, if there's like a mayor of Catchyville, I think this might be the mayor of that little town. But hey, I know this song too. Hey, it's like I know more of the songs that are higher on the list than the ones that are lower. But the intro guitars need no introduction. They are just that fantastic. The first verse is honestly so short, but it's fine since it leads into that incredible chorus. It is so catchy. And this song is sicky because when I hear this song once, it doesn't leave my head. When we saw them live, I think I went nuts when this song was played, and I'm very happy it's on. It's it's high on Brett's as well because it does fit his wheelhouse very well.
Fantastic song. Everybody that I've shown this song to has really gravitated towards it. And people that have we have a friend that just kind of stumbled on this song and was like, "Hey, don't you like this band?" And I was like, "Yes." And this song is incredible. So comes in at 6. Going in at 5, we got How Do You Feel? Considering you know what's left, can you tell which album's my favorite? Only 4 of the top 5 are from it. Dearly Depressed and Brokenhearted is the opening line to the song. Lyrically, another phenomenal one right here. The chorus has the line, "You are alive, but are you living in it?" I mean, this is for sure a song where you should just take a second and really read the lyrics. The guitars and drums that open up the song sound great, and John's first verse and pre chorus lead really well into that chorus, which is led into so well by those drums. It just explodes its way in. Those pounding backing drums sound so great, and I can't help but headbang and sing along to the song. The guitar solo leading into the bridge is phenomenal as well. As a whole, the song is 4.5 minutes long, and it just does not feel like it to me. It truly makes great use of that runtime and wraps up my favorite album by the Maine with a nice little cherry on top.
Damn, those lyrics really do hit pretty hard. Like dearly depressed and broken-hearted boys cry too. Ouch. That just pulls on the heartstrings. Ouch. The backing beat adds needed pace, but the pre-chorus swings effortlessly into that chorus, which I'm honestly lukewarm about. It isn't overly catchy and doesn't hit enough for me to get over that. The chorus has a pace change, but it goes the other direction. It slows the song down with some pounding drums, which are cool, but don't wow me at all. The The guitar solo is pretty neat, though. I do disagree with the length. I don't think they needed that final chorus. I would put the song lower personally.
Fun. Fine. We're just in the top five, and currently don't have a save. It's okay. And I know that one of the songs coming up you already have saved, so that means there's only three more chances. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. How do you feel? Comes in at five.
I could die with you. Never felt like this before. Dizzy, drunk, and beautiful. In this moment, I let go with you. When you're next to me, and the music's loud, singing headlines somewhere.
Coming in at four, we've got "Don't Come Down," the opener to my favorite album by the Maine, and it welcomes you to Lovely Little Lonely with such a bang. The guitars that open the song create such a great groove throughout that first verse, and they just let you know right off the bat that you're in for an incredible ride. The pre-chorus does a really great job of leading you into that chorus where the rest of the instrumentation picks up, and it's just incredibly catchy. The bridge gives you a second to catch your breath by slowing it down and building the tension for that chorus to come back around one final time and just sweeps you away in the catchiness. It's just a really great and upbeat song that I can't help but sing along to every time it comes on, and this was another one that I really thought that Sean was gonna like.
The clean guitar to open the song isn't overly quick, but also isn't overpowering either. It allows the song to speed up naturally, which is cool. That is a calming slight speed change that I'm looking for. I like the second verse. I like that the second verse gets faster and adds a backing guitar riff as well. Keeping the chorus speed is a great sign for the rest of the song, so it can continue to build. There is a change for the bridge. Nice piano replacing the rest of the instruments. Then they come back in a final pre-chorus, puts a nice bow on the cool tune.
So was it saved?
No,
But you said it was a cool tune.
yeah, it was cool too.
It's savable.
No,
But it was a cool tune.
yeah, so
Like it was. You should save it. Like it's a great song.
it's good. It's not great though.
You say if you could say everything you needed to the one you needed to. You say I could say it's come around, I come undone. Can't find the sound undone my tongue when I look to you. Can't make a noise, so I'm trying to tell you all the right words, waiting on the right words. Just another lovesick afternoon, black butterflies and deja vu, hoping for the right words, waiting for the right words.
Coming in at three, we've got "Black Butterflies" and "Deja Vu." You knew it was going to be high. It's their third most played song live, and honestly, objectively speaking, it's probably their best song. Lyrically and sonically, it's phenomenal from start to finish. John describes the song as being for the quote, moments, places, or persons that somehow turn your tongue to stone, and I feel like this song perfectly conveys that feeling. The lyrics of the chorus, especially, I lose my voice when I look at you, can't make a noise though I'm trying to, tell you all the right words, waiting on the right words. Just another lovesick afternoon. Black butterflies and deja vu. Hoping for the right words. Waiting for the right words. Chef's kiss lyrical perfection. The bridge, too, comes in with some incredible lyrics. There are only 26 letters that I can use just to tell you that I won't let go. Don't you let go. So good. Sonically, it also just sounds fucking amazing. It opens with an absolute bang, and this is a rare circumstance of the chorus slowing down the song and it actually really working well because it just lets you feel the impact of the lyrics. The song really builds to the chorus that comes in after the bridge where they just absolutely explode. The outro serves as a great end to the song as well. It all just comes together so perfectly. A phenomenal song. If you live under a rock and somehow have not heard it, do yourself a favor and just stop the pause the video, go listen to this song, and then come back and see why that the song's at three.
This song freaking stinks. How did it get so high? I don't understand. This should be like way lower. But like,
I personally think, like Brett does, that there are other songs that we like personally, but in terms of catchiness, it's hard to get better than this one. The flow here is almost flawless. I love the guitar parts in between the verses as well. So when I first heard it, I honestly hated the slowdown to say the title line to open the chorus because, as you've heard in any one of our videos, including this one, I don't like slowdown choruses. I think they suck. I think they ruin the song, but this is like one of like the 3 or 4 instances that it works really, really well. But over time, from the rest of the song, I got over that fact. Plus, the muted guitar before that last chorus works really well. I also agree with Brett that the 26 letters you can use line is extremely clever. Amazing song from start to finish. Yeah, if you living under a rock and haven't heard this song, I've heard this song and I've saved like 6 of these songs, and this is one of the 6. So you should definitely listen to this one and save this one yourself.
Yeah, this is one that Sean had saved going in. Just from hearing it, I mean, they played it when we saw them at Sad Summer. You've heard it in my car. It's come on at parties. Like it's fantastic.
Hence why I played the entire chorus. You're welcome.
Yeah, you are welcome for that. You should be thanking Sean in the comments for that. So overall, it comes in at 3. Coming in at 2, we've got Right Girl. So this was the song that got me really into the Maine. Like we mentioned, Sean had showed me My Heroine, and I really liked that song. I mean, it's at 11 on this list. So I decided to do a deep dive into the entire discography. We also were seeing them at that point at Sad Summerfest. I believe it was 2021. We were attending them, and so I heard My Heroine and was like, this song's great. Let me check out the whole discography. As you can tell, wasn't super into Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And I started from the beginning. So I was like, I don't know, do I want to keep going? I'm not super into this album. So I was like, all right, let me give the next one a try. I heard Don't Stop Now, which is the opener off of Black and White, which is pretty high. And I was like, all right, this is a bit better. And then I heard this song as the second track off of Black and White. And I instantly was like, all right, I'm on board to give the whole thing a go because this song is unbelievable. This was my favorite song by them for a while, and while it isn't in the top spot anymore, it's still pretty damn close. It's at 2. I love the guitars that open up the song, and that verse is incredibly catchy while doing a great job of telling the story. The end of the verse does a phenomenal job of leading into that chorus, and just wow, that chorus. That's the main reason that this song is this high. It's just incredible. Just so catchy, and I cannot get it out of my head. The bridge and the third verse serve as a really nice slowdown, and it's a change of pace before roaring back into that final explosion chorus. And I like how they end the song with the "Please, Please, Baby, Come Back." This is an underrated, extremely underrated older song from the Maine that I think deserves more modern day love. It's definitely not a complex song or anything. It's a very basic pop punk song, but like I mentioned, for a couple of the other songs off of Black and White, I love pop punk music, so a simple, basic pop punk song that's done really well can get really high for me on the list. And this is just an evidence of that. It's all the way up here, too, and I don't regret anything that this placement.
Back to the earlier production here from the vocals perspective. The instrumentation is more aggressive, which is cool, but the chorus just sounds a little bit off to me, and I don't think it helps the song flow very well. I think it slows the song down as a whole. Then you need the guitar part to bring the song back up to speed. I also don't agree with the catchy factor. I don't see it from that chorus. It just gets louder and a little bit lackluster. I'm honestly a little bit confused by the placement, honestly.
Um, I didn't expect you to like love it, but I didn't expect that. So I mean, I don't know. It really works for me. It has from the start. I didn't have Spotify at the time, but I feel like if I did, this would have at least been in my top 5 for songs of the year that I checked out the Maine, which I guess was 2021. Um, I think it's fantastic. I regret nothing. It was my favorite for a while, but it's just barely been beaten out. Let's see what that top song is. Okay, so Coming in at the number one spot, the top song, my favorite song from the Maine. It's Bad Behavior. This is a rare occasion of my favorite song from a band not being an extremely random deep cut. Yes, it is a relatively popular one, and this song deserves to be popular. It's incredible. It's their fourth most played live song, and honestly, I think it should be higher. It should be played at every show. Apparently, this song was written relatively late in the process for Lovely Little Lonely too. Thank the Lord it happened. What a banger! From first listen, I was just in love with this song. It opens with an incredible instrumental section. The drums and guitars just complement each other so perfectly, and you can tell about 10 seconds into the song that it's just going to be the catchiest thing on the planet. The first verse in its own right is incredible as well. Super catchy, and there's a line in here that I don't know if it was purposeful or not, but it actually references the next album, You're Okay. Specifically the song I Feel It All Over, with the line, I feel okay all over. The pre-chorus builds the tension really well by slowing it down slightly for that chorus to just explode its way in and remain catchy. The yeah, yeah, yeah is something that you wouldn't necessarily think that I would like, but it works really well in the context of this song. There's also some great harmonies in the chorus, which is a nice touch. The bridge gives you a second to catch your breath before that final chorus explodes its way in. It's just incredible. This song is a masterpiece. It doesn't let up from beginning to end, and I think it's thoroughly worthy of my number one spot in this video.
Will I enjoy the top song from another artist, or will there be a full offer? I guess we'll have to find out. I've definitely heard this song in Brett's car before, just because of the intro guitar sounds really familiar. I remember the song came on at a party at my house, I think, and he legit got so red from singing, so much. I think he needed to get some water or something. He literally looked like a strawberry from singing so hard. The love for this song for him knows no bounds, as I've just described. The intro guitars are really sweet, and my foot is tapping along immediately. That chorus keeps the pacing up really well and flows really well to that next verse. The slowdown for the bridge is definitely different and is a good change of pace to bring in that one rocking chorus. I don't think it's one personally, but it is a solid song.
Did we get the same?
No.
I don't know. That was the sound of my heart shattering into a million bits and pieces. Don't know if you heard that there, but overall, this song is phenomenal. It's super catchy all throughout. They played this one live when I saw them. I don't remember if they played it at Ted Summer or not. I think they did. And they definitely played it when I saw them on one of their headlining tours, I think the year after, I think in 2022. But this song is absolutely fantastic. And like I mentioned, I think it is fully worthy of that number one spot. So, yeah, Bad Behavior, my number one song by the Maine. I would like to thank you all for joining us on this long and winding road of ranking every song by the Maine. I'm pleased to report it is not an offer. We got one, boys. The sound of reverie finally clicked, and we are re-recording this outro because I literally just bitched about getting it over for 6 minutes. So we're redoing it. But I hope you all enjoyed. I hope Sean didn't find this list too terribly painful to go through. And yeah.
It wasn't painful. It was just like it was a lot of like good, but like not great songs. You know, like it was like it's like oh okay, this song's good. Like it's not good enough to save kind of thing. But
Yeah.
but it wasn't bad. But I mean like it could be better obviously. But I mean like here's what it is.
Yeah, and we did get that elusive save, so saved my dignity a little bit. But I was honestly, I meant I don't know where I mentioned this. I think it was in the outro that we ended up cutting. But I was genuinely so surprised that you didn't find more songs from the Maine that you liked. Like especially considering you showed them to me, and I knew there were a couple songs you liked going in, like Dirty Pretty, Sticky, Black Butterflies. I don't know. I thought we'd get more.
Yeah, I was expecting to get more just because like this like the band Camino. If you haven't checked out that video, please be sure to do so. Is also very musically inclined heavy, if that makes any sense. So I was a little bit surprised that it didn't that like more songs didn't click. But I mean I'm not even really sure why. To be honest, it's just like okay, this song's good. Like it's cool. Um, but
Yeah. It happens. Like I know what you mean. It's just like you can't really explain why. It's just like this isn't bad, but
It's just
uh,
not like top tier. You know?
yeah, no, it makes sense. So that's going to kind of wrap up everything for this video. As for what's coming down the pipeline, we just posted a couple weeks ago our 2018 Billboard video, so be sure to check that out. It's a great one. And then following this video, it's going to be Sean's artist.
Yeah, we have my artist coming up. It's a little exciting, or well, I think it's pretty exciting. Talking about a fairly popular rapper, and letting you guys know my thoughts on his albums, his discography, and just letting him know what's going on. I enjoyed it. I knew going in somewhat where I was going to place things, but it was nice to see where it all ended up.
Yeah, I definitely think that's gonna be a fun one. A little bit of a different style of, I don't want to say style of video, just say style of video, but different, little bit different style of music than what we normally cover on this channel. You know, we typically cover popular music or pop punk, but it's a little different. So I think it'll be a nice little change of pace for y'all, and hope you guys enjoyed that. And then following that, we have a Together artist, which we're both really excited for. We're both working on that, and that should be coming along smoothly. And then, you know, another Billboard video, and the cycle continues until about June. We'll have an update video out for you guys. It's a couple minor changes.
Yeah, I mean the next two are relatively similar to one another. I would say, um, in terms of in terms of from the last Together that we did to mine, and then the next one are all relatively similar. But I'm super excited for the Together one. I've wanted to do it for a while, but it's just a matter of timing and which one worked best for the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, we've been waiting. We've been waiting in hopes of New Year's Day. I think we can give up on that pipe dream.
I would say so.
I hope something comes eventually, but I don't know. But you should definitely look forward to that. And then, you know, the whole cycle continues, so look forward to the 2017 Billboard video and all that. But definitely be sure to go check out that 2018 Billboard video. We put a lot of time in there. I think it came out pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. The top and bottom were always fun to listen to, um, especially what the rants are at the bottom. Those are always fun.
So I think that about covers it. I don't have anything else to do.
No, I'm good.
So once again, thank y'all for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me rank every song by the Maine. And if there's anything you want to hear us rank, definitely let us know. We do read every comment, respond to just about everything, and always open to hearing your suggestions. So be sure to let us know.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you all next time. Peace.
Peace.